Hello and welcome to Cinematic Epic. As always, I am your host and game master, Adam. We're going to have a lot of fun here because Cinematic Epic is a wonderful experience where the narrative is mixed with some gritty combat rules, but it's all about telling a story via the player actions, the story that I've written up, and of course, what the dice bring to our virtual table. One other element that we'll give a shout out to as far as the way the story is told is through the atmosphere, which is by Tabletop Audio. Tabletop Audio is a great way to build some ambience with some music for your sessions, whether they're online like we are or at your table at home. It just adds that little extra ambience and oomph to a scene, and it's a whole lot of fun to play around with. If you missed last session, there's some catching up that you might need. Our party is in the city of Vice. They're traveling about as they're trying to figure out how to get a few things done. The thing that they needed to get done the most was secure a dock for Ambervale. They had a few ways that they could do this, but they decided to go with a mission for one of the Lords of Vice, Vito. Vito wanted them to head off to a neighboring club who was being run by one of the other leaders of the city and get back his entertainment, his singer, one of his money makers. The party decided to do this without question, going and taking Vance down without hesitation. Three of the party members, I should say, as Sequoia was entranced by the fact that a Hedera was seen here in Vice. This Hedera seemed different than the one that she would call Mother, but went by the same name, though a different title and a different location. Wanting to know more information about this mysterious individual, Sean E. said he would help her in any way that he can, desperately trying to keep the attention of his muse, Sequoia, the champion of humanity. Cue eye roll from Epsilon. But the rest of the party went on to secure Vance. They did this by means of a brutal combat, shoving him into a suitcase and dragging him throughout the city, but not before handcuffing him and ball gagging him. It's can't make that up. So the party did take Vance back to Vito and secure the dock contracts for Ambervale. But we've got some stuff in store for our session today. But before we can do any of that, we're going to need to bring in our party. So let's slide them all in. Let's get them included. Hello, hello. How are we doing?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to be back. I'm doing pretty well. How about everybody else?
Full party. Look at this.
I know.
I don't have to pretend to be one of you.
I'm here.
Gang's all here.
And let me tell you, there's no crossover in doing voices between Sequoia and Tavish. So it's... But let's kick things off with Lyra. Introduce your character and how you doing.
How am I doing? I'm doing okay. I'm tired, but I'm here. It's been a long week. But anyway, my name is Alicia. I am playing Lyra. She is okay. She stands about 5'2". She dresses, I want to say, kind of flashy. She's young. She's like in her 20s. She likes to be seen. She's from Keep Kolok. She traveled to Ambervale to learn more about her powers from the Thespians, if she could have, but that didn't end well. She ended up with the party. Now she's with them in Vice, hoping she can still figure out what she wants to find out about her sound skills, but we'll see how this works out because I don't think she knows what's in store for her.
You hear that, Vito? She's a peacock. You gotta let her fly. Anyway, we've got Sequoia back from a little bit of a break. How are we doing? And tell us about your character.
Hello, I am Sequoia. I'm Jasmine. I'm playing Sequoia. She is 4 foot, half pixie, from the Forbidden Forest of Hedera. She's been on here trying to figure out what happened to her mom. She's very confused about finding the second Hedera. but she is the champion of humanity, so she's doing all right.
Yes.
Very
Champion!
true. We definitely already knew that Sequoia had some mommy issues with, her reason for being in the campaign. But, here we are in another city, and she's staring at someone who's bringing up the same feelings like that. Doubling down on, your problems doesn't usually solve them, but we'll see where that story goes.
Fine.
All
Everything's
right.
fine. Totally fine. All fine.
We've got none other than Tavish to bring on in. Hello, and how's your character? Or who's your character?
Hello. My name is Ian, and I am playing Tavish. Tavish is a Duhallan, which is a person given second life. He is a little lost. They're at his own actions, as well as kind of vestiges of his former life begin to haunt him a little bit, as he's uncertain how to move forward. So we're in for an interesting time with Tavish. He's about 6 foot tall, to help paint the picture.
No short king. Tavish was once asked the question, "Do you believe in life after love?" And he was like, "Well, I believe in life after life." The other part I can't quite comment on. But we have none other than Epsilon. Insert title here. Sadly, 404. How are we doing?
I am doing it all right now. Epsilon is he's just going along. My name is James. I'll be playing Epsilon today. Why you gotta do that to me? Epsilon's a half-dragon human. He's 6 feet tall. He has fangs, claws, a tail, and horns that crown his head. He's from a community called Green Groves Watch, which is basically like retirement community for, some of the greatest heroes that are from around, and he's just out here trying to do heroic stuff. But last session we were doing some interesting type maneuvers. I don't know, just feeling a little just like just going with the flow, but we'll see what happens, with this next session, where our actions, what the consequences of our actions are.
The consequences of our actions, indeed. We've got some fun stuff planned for this session, but to be able to get into it, we've got to go through our final check and balance, our preamble. There's my book. I came prepared. And the party is looking decent in gold. 325 for Epsilon with both of your tokens. 2 minor in each type, epic and cinematic. Tavish is down to 2 gold. And has used 1 of his minor cinematic tokens, but the other tokens are all still there. Sequoia is at 510 gold with 2 tokens of each type, 2 epic and 2 cinematic, both minor. And Lyra is at 505 gold with, again, 2 of each token in tow, both minor as well. All right, so without further ado, let's get into today's session. As the party, takes their rest, it's the wee hours of the morning. Sun isn't even creeping through the window yet, and yet this feeling, this vibe, this something, it feels familiar. You realize you've felt this before, as each one of you experiences. As I stare down at the photo in my hand, my thumb caresses the image. I always wanted to be a good father, but I wanted to be a great detective. I never lived up to what my children deserved, what my daughters deserved. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself in the mirror. Lavender Lassiter, who even are you? I couldn't even make this city great. Here we are, things just falling apart, the stitching coming undone. Who would have thought there was another scumbag that this city needed? It's all just checks and balances. These 4 gang lords, they created a fulcrum amongst themselves. And now with Draven missing, Vice is building up to be a powder keg. They're all chomping at the bit. And I just have the feeling that today's not going to be a good day.
What is happening?
And each one of you then, start to kind of warm up to the day as you get out of your luxurious, beds with, the perfect temperatures in the room. Not until you're ready for the light of day to creep through the windows do the windows even allow light to penetrate in. As each one of you, you stand up from your bed, the outfit that you would be wearing for the day is already there, set up for you, as if the room itself knew exactly what you were going to want. Tavish, you don't sleep like the rest of the party does, yet you do find yourself, as you look down at your armor and your gauntlets, that at some point it was buffed, it was polished. The parts in between your armor, the fabric that would show out, has been cleaned and washed, and yet you've been conscious this whole time, and the magic seems to have happened anyway and around you. Decadence at its finest. As the party then convenes within the kind of the breakfast hall of the room, an extravagant amount of food is left out for the party for them to enjoy. Everything from drinks to hams, bacons, eggs, options that Sequoia actually would eat. The breakfast, though, is quasi-interrupted as Tim comes over and informs the party. So...
Aw, Tim.
Little bit of a hiccup. There's some uncertain language in this contract, and it's just not going to pass the Ambervalian side of things. Mainly because for the Ambervalian side of things, it's saying here that we're not paying anything at all for the docks, but for it to be valid for Ambervalian standards, there's going to need to be some sort of money exchange. We can't receive territory for free. So something will have to be worked out there, but I can't even begin to sign or work through any of this stuff till that's done. So,
Well, what? Can't we just say it was a gift?
not by... So it could be gifted land if it was becoming Ambervalian territory officially, but it's still going to be owned by Vice and operated via this. So by Ambervalian law, no, we can't.
All right, we'll go back to
Well, you know what they say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Can't you just accept it? Like we got the dock. That's what we wanted, right?
I mean,
Tavish looked at the rest of
sure.
the party and are we certain that we don't want to at least put someone down as who we're purchasing it from. Maybe as a sign of good faith.
I didn't think he said it was a person that was an issue. He said that there was no dollar amount. He said we can't have it for free.
Yeah, he shows the part of the contract that does basically it's like we're receiving this part of the dock from Vito, but it's at a value of 0. And so basically he goes on to explain that if the value is 0, it's stating that this whole dock is like this, the valuing of this contract is equal to like the money, you know, spent. Now there are clauses around this for Ambervale and stuff, but there has to be a monetary exchange.
But what if it was a trade? Like we traded it for, you know, it wasn't really like a purchase. It's like it was an exchange. It was a trade. So like.
Oh, okay. So what? He goes. Okay. Well, in which case, I would just need to know what the value of the trade is in a monetary amount.
Guess we'd have to ask Vito how much his thing is worth.
And the debt cleared for Sean E.
Oh, that was a good one too. You can tell him, I guess that's what we traded it for.
I mean that would certainly be a dollar amount, I'm sure.
That's true.
Yeah, both of those would state this. So long as I have something to be able to put within this column, there just has to be some evaluation of it. Otherwise, it's just going to look like there's no paper trail to how or why we've received territory in another, you know, city. And the last thing we want to do is spark up some sort of unrest within, you know, the neighboring kingdom of Aurelian to the south, that Ambervale's maybe making some sort of aggressive push into this territory.
Gotcha. That makes sense, I suppose.
So we need to go get another contract drawn up.
Like if it was aggressive, we wouldn't have it on paper at all.
I mean, that's fair.
But okay.
It's not aggressive in the manner of like arms. It'd be aggressive in the manner of closer relations.
And so he just writes down that it's contract page 73, subsection 4. And that basically once that's alleviated, the rest of the contract language is up to Ambervalian code, and we'll be at a place where we can sign. So once you guys are able to stop by and talk to Vito, you know, this deal will be done.
Okay. I mean, I guess we got to go find out how much. What's his face?
How much
we have to go find out what dollar amount we need to put here.
Get on our way.
So
we're going to see Vito, right? We don't have to go see Shawnee. We don't need him. He's not going to be in there. Right?
He's going to pop up at some point.
Do owe the lad. The ability of introductions was valuable.
It's true.
As the party gets ready and then heads down the lift to the tram and off to Vito's. Again, since you're heading to one of the enticement centers, the journey is very quick. It is very streamlined, and you're able to get from Sweet Street to Vito in a matter of minutes. As you get to his rolling casino, people are just, it's early in the morning, but people are already rolling dice. Things are happening. It's moving. It's shaking. It's going on. The doorman sees the party coming up and goes, like, "Oh, you're Vito's friends, aren't you?"
Yeah.
In a manner of speaking.
Is there anything I can help you with today?
You wouldn't be able to tell us if Vito has an opening for a visit, would you?
Let me see. And he like looks down at his freak, and he like starts like swiping and communicating on it. Huh. Yes, actually, he can see you all right now.
Would you be so kind as to let him know that we'd like to have a moment? Point to Sequoia and company.
My mom
Sure.
the name. Thought we were dealing with.
Because
You
you're
can
the
follow.
one.
You can follow Tommy here, and he'll take you to Vito.
I'm the one with what?
You're the one most people know in the city. That's why I use you first, lad.
Champion
You
of
know.
I
humanity.
thought we were going with Epsilon because he was the one that made the deal in the first place, you know.
Champion of humanity.
Champion humanity.
As you all follow Tommy to Vito's office. Again, as you're going through this gambling hall, it is just the amount of money being won and lost just constantly as there's like these odd, like arcane machines that seem to like spit out gold with no interaction with a person directly, but they seem to take gold in equal or greater measure. The party gets to this office that kind of like has this massive crystalline window structure that kind of overlooks almost as if like an indoor balcony, where none other than Vito is waiting for you. Back so soon.
Oh.
That's different. Didn't look so much like the Gorilla Godfather this time.
Jesus.
Hey, Vito.
What brings the Ambervalian heroes to my doorstep again so soon?
Well, I wouldn't say we have a problem, but we have just a little. We need a little.
We just
bit
need
something.
to clear up some things about that contract that we did for the dock. You know,
What
they
And-
need like an amount to put down for what the value is. So we were gonna say maybe like whatever the value of Shawnee's debts were. That way they just have a number to put down so that
He like waves to people behind him, and they start like they like leave the room, and he's like,
I didn't know there were people here. My bad.
Sorry.
No. They were in they were in the room already. As you got there, they looked like some of the people that would have been following you in your first meeting, like that were around Vito in his general company.
Gotcha.
And he waves them in an expression that gives you the idea that he's telling them to take care of this task. As he sits in his chair and he kind of leans over a little bit and goes, they'll handle that bureaucratic stuff, but you know what I think you're all really here for?
No, that was
And
it.
he reaches down and he pulls out from his drawer and he sets 4 boxes on the table in front of you. I've heard rumor that Ambervale's finest have a ability to be drawn to magic items that call to them. So I'm curious, which of these boxes calls to each one of you? As the party looks at these boxes, one of the boxes radiates a sense of strength, of stability, of sturdiness. One, you get this smooth talking vibe, this like clean, sincere, movement. One is thought provoking. It has this tingling, to the front of your head, throughout your brain. And the last one feels subtle. It feels clandestine.
Did y'all ever hear that we can sense magic items? Because that's news to me.
So, Tavish, which one of these are you drawn to?
Is there a cat?
Tavish will nod towards the one that resonates strength and stability.
Maybe it is true. What about you, Lyra?
I feel like it's more so that the second one you were describing that made the most sense for me.
The smooth talking, that one.
Yep.
Champion of humanity.
Mine was actually, I was kind of drawn towards the clandestine, subtle one.
And I guess that leaves this one for you. But I'm curious, Epsilon. Is that what piqued your interest?
No.
Yeah, it was.
It seems as if it's almost fate or destiny that these have come your way. Please open them. They're gifts for you.
Oh no!
Services rendered.
Oh no!
As each one of you opens these boxes, Lyra, you open a box to see like a crown, but the crown is made with teeth. Tavish, you open, and this is armor adornments for shoulders, for chest plates, for forearms, but it is made of bone, rib cage more specifically.
Bro, this is Lance.
As Sequoia, you look at yours, it's this odd green fleshy cloak that feels almost leatherish in its nature. And
It's the skin, isn't it?
and Epsilon, you are looking at a cane made from a spinal cord. As each of you look down at these items, you realize that the cup that Vito has in front of him is actually a skull.
Of course it
I
is.
knew it! I knew it!
We're gonna do it. I knew it.
Polished and cleaned. And as he finishes his drink and he sets it on the bar behind him, you realize that there's probably a dozen or more cups of the exact same making on his bar. He looks at the party and he goes, "Beautiful, isn't it?" And he gestures to this melodic tone drifting through his casino. It's not what I had in mind for my next act, but it works, doesn't it? Lyra, you have an ear for this sort of thing. Do you approve? As this tone, this I mean, it's gorgeous by all accounts, drifts through it. It feels like if the emotional loud resonance of a trumpet was able to meet the subtlety and the playfulness of the flute, while being just, I mean, marinated in a walking band with a piano playing just to keep up. It's
What is happening here?
an instrument of my own idea. Because you see, well, I have to get my money somehow. Dead man can't pay debts, or so they say. But and he like gestures out the windows, and outside the window is a single person, not a whole band, and he's playing this odd instrument. It seems. He holds it as if it's some sort of like saxophone almost, but it's got like an element of like a bagpipe to it. Like There's like this soft, strained material that seems to be worked alongside of this more brass equipment.
Is it also green? No.
He, well, it turns out that, well, Vance's special qualities as a bard are, well, easily manipulated. As you pay more attention to the instrument that the person's holding, you can see that it is, in fact, part of what you imagine is one of Vance's lungs and his vocal cords, just being plucked and played casually, as if just another instrument.
Did we bring this man back to be killed?
So, do you like your gifts?
Is this like a full size? Like, does it actually like go on? Will it actually like go on my head and all that?
Yes, very much so.
Of course. Thank you for such fine craftsmanship and generosity.
Yeah, I can't say.
Definitely never received anything like this before.
Can't say I own anything like this in my collection.
Well, I have to make an alteration to our contract. That's what you all are partially here for. So, you wouldn't mind accompanying me, would you? So, a quick little trip. I mean, after all, alterations to a deal are being made. It's only fair.
You did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where would we be going?
Actually, just back to Sweet Street. You see,
Hi.
normally there'd be a festival going on. This year, the festival is supposed to be, well, held by Draven. But he's been missing of late. Ronnie and Azur are both too timid to throw the party themselves. So I've taken it upon myself. But I can't just walk there. We need to make an entrance. And what better an entrance than with the heroes from Ambervale?
Yeah,
Hold on
that
real
would
quick.
be an entrance, wouldn't it?
Orlando never went to Vice.
Mm-mm.
No.
So Lyra, and then she got the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she would know who this is if she paid attention. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure. I had to remind myself who it was. Okay.
So,
Well.
shall we depart?
I don't know.
Well, I guess if it's a party, we have to change.
That's what all y'all changing. Always make them change clothes.
I mean,
Some of us have more than one outfit,
I never had any need for anything other than the one outfit.
and that's the point. So we're gonna help you out
What I'm wearing, it's fine.
to play in the dirt, honey.
I don't play in the dirt.
okay.
Epsilon,
Can I
you see.
converse with? I need to talk to my colleagues for a moment.
Of course. The room's all yours. I'll be right back. And he steps out of the room.
How much you want to bet the room has ears? Probably
Like,
Vance's.
just huddle
Oh yeah,
up.
probably also Vance's ears.
Huddle up.
I told you, as soon as he did it, I was like, "Oh, this is Vance." But okay.
Yeah.
We can't, Is it truly our place to start meddling with the powers that are this city? I know that we've already stepped into this arena.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
But
not
I
at
have to
all.
admit,
But at
I'm
the
not
same,
certain.
at this point,
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't know if he's going to actually make the changes unless we go, and then we'll be starting from square one.
I mean, let's be real. Two things. One, us going with him benefit him by using the cloud of Ambervale to bolster his strength. Really want to appear that Ambervale is allying with him is the first thing. But the second thing is, Ambervale hasn't paid any money yet. We can just go make an actual deal with somebody.
I don't think you're in the position to be making any more deals.
I don't have to be the one to make the deal. All right,
The
I'm
lad's
just
not
saying.
wrong.
But at
The
the
truth-
but at the same time, do you really think, seeing all these gifts and his fancy new instrument, that you want to betray this man?
What is the betrayal? We did his mission.
Do you do
We
you
just
want to
don't
become?
take the alteration.
It would
If we don't
be
take any
an
alterations
insult.
to the contract.
It would be an insult if we suddenly just went to somebody else and tried to buy it. However, it doesn't mean that we can't offer to buy it from Vance. If he suggests that... Sorry, from Vito.
From Vance?
If he suggests that we...
The one whose ribcage you got?
Stop!
Paying me?
Vito. Meant Vito. Obviously, Vance is on the minds of most of us at the moment, considering we might be holding his body parts.
I don't
Might.
think that's a might. But go
I just-
ahead.
No,
I'm pretty
for certain
certain.
that we're holding. Alright, are we actually going to have a conversation, or do we just want to pick apart every single thing that I've just said? Now, if we actually want to buy it, we can actually buy it if he decides to try and pull something that we don't want to go with. Or we can just stumble about like hapless fools and do whatever he asks of us. I am of the mind that if he tries to get us to do something that we don't agree with, we buy the dock from him. We have the funds to do so. But all
We
this
have the funds
alteration...
to do so, but we would. That's under the assumption that he's willing to sell it for money.
Even
But I
if
mean, it's
he
not like
is-
on the
us
line
buying it, right?
already.
It would be the king, like Ambervale's buying it.
Somebody.
not
He's
like
on
us.
the line already. Wants to make
It's a lot of
He
things
wanted-
going on.
a business deal. Agreed.
You broke
He
up
has
a
us
little
on
bit.
the
Ian, I
line
didn't hear
already.
Yeah.
Understand.
you. Sorry.
He has us on the line already. He wants us to make a deal with him. He'd rather take money than walking away empty-handed. And we don't insult him.
Even if he won't take the deal, somebody in this city will make a deal.
And then that comes to him refusing us, not us refusing him.
But
Hopefully.
I mean, we also don't really even know what the alterations are that he wants to be making, though, right? I mean, it could just be that we're changing it, adding in the dollar amount, like what we said, what we needed to put on the deal, right? So
Aye, but now that we've made an alteration, he might see fit to add something else to make it an alteration of his own.
what? Yeah.
On that note,
Wait.
the door does open back up, and Vito re-enters the room. So the flute's all ready. Are you joining me, heroes?
Did you just say float?
Well, we have to arrive in style, don't we?
Oh,
Is this like a float,
If
or
you
is this
don't
like a turn
mind
for a
me
vehicle?
saying, Master Vito, are you certain that the optics of you arriving with us is truly what you want to send? And I'm not saying it because you're not a strong or capable man, but could it not be potentially perceived by one of the other bosses that you are in need of our protection? If we were to arrive all together.
No, because you're gonna have, well, these gifts in tow, and it's gonna send the message to, Azure. I'm sure some of you met her. And he glances over at Lyra and Sequoia. And it's gonna let her know that I can touch any part of this city. And what's mine is mine. Everything from the docks to the casinos. And soon a whole lot more. But unless we're making another deal, you don't need to concern yourselves with that part. All you need to know is we're going to go on a little float, a parade to Sweet Street. From there, we're done. And I'll get you your alteration or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, I guess the saying goes.
Well, then right this way, heroes. And the party follows Vito to this float, and it's every bit as audacious as the rest of his casinos with the lights and the loud arcade machines and things like that. And this parade sets forth from his territory and follows the train waves, and people are like in the streets, and lots, especially people who are like clearly not natives to Vice, are like cheering and waving, to which the whole time Vito's just up there like, you know, hey, very happy, joyously smiling and pointing to people, grabbing gold and chucking it out into the crowd, while the four of you feel very much like just on weird pedestals. Upon the float, Lyra, Tavish, and Epsilon, you are all on one level of the float. Sequoia is noticeably standing above each of you, closer to Vito on the float, and occasionally there's like a shout out spotlight moment of the champion of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you are all from Ambervale and are Ambervale's finest is also referenced multiple times throughout this journey through the streets of Vice, and mentions of like, you know, with friends from Ambervale, who cares who your enemies are, is like one of the big like monikers of safety and security within the streets of Vice. As you arrive at Sweet Street, it has completely changed from where it was when you guys walked through it like a mere hour ago on your way to Vito's. It's decorated and themed with all of just the adornments. As you can tell, a massive amount of the population of Vice is all within this one section of the city. As the parade comes to its end, the float basically that you're on kind of slots into a stage piece where there are 4 chairs, like throne-ish looking chairs, very ornate looking setup, where only 2 of them are taken up, one by Ronnie Blackheart and the other by Lady Azure.
Of course.
The 4th chair is vacant and unclaimed, though by its depiction and what you had heard from Shawnee on your first day in Vice, you imagine that is the chair for the mysterious Draven that you have heard whispers about, but not seen. Vito leans into the party, and goes, "Look at her. She's pissed. Though, she also might have been pissed because we sent her a tongue." And kind of like slaps Epsilon on the shoulder. He walks up to this this crude looking runic arcane device. Epsilon, as you look at it, you're very familiar with aspects of its arcane makeup, that it's some sort of voice amplifier. You'll be able to speak into it and it'll radiate. Yet similar to the freaks, there's all this weird technological metal gizmos that are around, as if a way to make it so non-spellcasters can cast these types of magic.
Also, Lord, what's he about to say?
Vito gets up to the mic and is like, "Hello, Vice. What a glorious day. So much joy upon these streets, whether you celebrated in my casinos, making hoards of gold that the dragons themselves would be envious of, or in the luxurious spas of Lady Azure, or perhaps the arenas and tests of strength and constitution of Rane, or perhaps our wayward fellow, Draven, in his studies. He can't be with us today because he's off somewhere else. But that doesn't stop the party. We've got so much to drink," and there's a cheer. "So much to eat," there's a cheer. "And a party to be had." I'd like to invite him to the stage here to give some parting words. Some good friends of mine from the great city of Ambervale. It is Sequoia, the champion of humanity, and her fellow friends.
And friends.
Sequoia and friends! It's us. It's us.
Yep.
Sound like
you're
Sequoia and friends.
The four of you are kind of ushered up to the mic area, and he goes, "So, heroes, what would you say to the proud city of Vice and their joyous denizens to kick off this celebration of wonder?"
You might have to do the Shawnee thing. You might not like it, but you're gonna have to do it. Freedom spell, VICE, do it.
Nudges.
I'm not saying that. Epsilon, you said
Sequoia.
that.
Sequoia, the Sequoia and friends.
Let's eat, everybody. Have a good time.
That's all. She's all about the food, guys.
You can't go
Not
wrong.
surprised.
Simple and joyous from the champion of humanity. Let's eat. And the crowd erupts in cheers, and the catering begins as people start to drink and eat, and little light shows and dancers and all sorts of different entertainments all begin kicking off immediately. Vito then reaches forward and clicks something, and the electrical currents of the wires around the runic structure seem to fizzle out. And Epsilon, you would note that the arcane magic is no longer visible, as if the rune itself is somehow inactive, which goes against some of what you understand of runic magic. So it's curious whatever this infrastructure of runins and technology they have. He leans over to the four of you. So, I understand that all of this might be a little out of your wheelhouse, but I was thinking, you already have a bit of a reputation here in Vice. Lady Azure is none too pleased with the deals that we've made and the actions you've taken. So, I was thinking, with these alterations, there's a message that should be sent to make sure that, the docks stay safe. After all, we need them to stay safe, don't we?
Yeah.
What is
But
this
you
message?
said that they were relatively safe anyway. I asked
They
you
are.
about that specifically.
And normally, this celebration, this year's celebration would have been hosted by our missing friend. You see, Vice operates on a sense of balance, and without Draven playing the game, things are quickly becoming unbalanced. Just take a glance over at the two of them. He gestures to Ronnie and Azure as they're kind of talking. Let's get a perception check for. Let's get a perception check for our party.
Everyone.
I got that. +2.
Oh.
Why do I have 2 die?
Woohoo!
Hey, mine's at 12 at
Visible.
first.
Hey, 18.
21.
21.
As I do apologize, I'm supposed to say the challenge rating before you do that. The challenge rating for this one was 14. All of you passed with the exception of Sequoia.
Mine said 12 at first.
That's still
Something knocked it. Something knocked it.
But as you look over, it's very clear. You can't tell what they're talking about, but it's very clear that the two of them have a scheming, like hushed, whispered tones about them. Like their conversation is deliberately private, similar to the one that you are having with Vito currently. So, Lady Azure, not the biggest problem in the world. She deals mostly in secrets. But Ronnie has a force of bounty hunters and enforcers, heroes, gladiators, all sorts of, mercenaries at her disposal. So, I think it's important that a message is sent to her that she can't just brutalize her way into power again. It is, after all, how she got her station in Vice. Murdered dozens, maybe even a dozen dozens of people, just so she can lead. So, what say you, heroes? Something that protects our assets mutually?
I've not said exactly what I plan on doing.
Yeah, he hasn't said the what. I was just gonna say that.
Let's just say, to send a message to Azure and her club, it was important that we took out a key piece of it. For Ronnie, it's all about her enforcers, her thugs. I think we send her a message and let her know that she can be touched too.
This doesn't
I feel-
involve hurting anybody else, does it?
Even beyond that, before we even go there, we've already we've already held to our end of the bargain. Why do we need to do anything else?
Well, it would be a shame if the docks were destroyed or damaged.
But would they really go so far as to go into your territory and I mean, you said you run the docks, so would they be so bold as to do that?
If anyone was going to do it, it would be Ronnie. And he again gestures over to the conversation that the two of them are having and the fact that they are again having a conversation that looks very much like the conversation you were having with Vito.
He can have secret talks, but they can't have secret talks.
Here, why don't all of you enjoy the party? We'll talk a little later. But this would be the individual I would target. After all, you are heroes. And he gives you each a little scroll, and on that scroll, it's a wanted poster for a person who is wanted in Aurelian, and they're wanted in Keep Kolok, and they're wanted in Ambervale. And this enforcer has brutalized many people for many different causes. By no means, any way, shape, or form is this an innocent or upstanding person. But yet, even without embracing the inquisitive nature of a perception or an investigate, you can tell, as Vito hands each one of you this, there is a bit of a grin as he 100% knows what he's doing.
Who's on the one poster? Is it open for us to see it, or do we gotta open it?
Yes, yes, it is on it. It is a human male. They are named Marcus Hayes.
I was gonna say, so it's not someone to be recognized. It sounds like
No, it's not someone that you recognize.
Is it a list of what he's done?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's a list that goes through. I mean, it's like the best way to describe it is as you look through it. He has fought for a myriad of different causes. Most of the causes don't align. Like, he is just whoever pays the most is who he's fighting for, and he does not care who gets hurt. In the process, thus leading to his wanted record in the cities listed.
Now, I know I failed horribly at this last time, but this can I still try with him in this look that's menacing the sense motive? Even though I don't know if it'll work out, I want to try anyway.
Look, in Cinematic Epic, you're always welcome to try. The number to beat is 21.
Yep, see?
I would like to try his...
Fuck me. Okay.
Tavish also wanted to try this.
Yes, please.
Better than I got.
Close
but...
enough to God.
What about me? Could I do like an aura sense?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yep.
You probably still have to, but
Y'all got some rolls, all right.
Yeah, I said I failed last time. I was gonna at least try.
As each one of you, none of you can pierce the veil that is the layers of deception of Vito. Though even without being able to get through it, there again he's wearing this grin like on his sleeve. He very much understands that he is offering you something that is agreeable, but again he knows what he's doing.
Probably self-serving in some manner. We just don't know how.
So what does Marcus look like? Since we got this poster in our hands.
It's got like a drawn picture. He's a relatively unassuming human male. He's got scruffy looking hair. It's a dirty blondish. He has like a patchy beard, and he is like his beard is the notable feature is his beard is patchy due to the amount of scars on his face, not like unkeptness. It just the hair doesn't grow normally anymore.
Gotcha.
Damn, that's rough.
Struggle beard.
But I'll tell you what. Why don't you keep those and enjoy the party for now? We can talk a little later.
Well, all right.
As each one of... I'm sorry?
No, I was gonna say, does he walk away? He's like, bye,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
I think we walk away from this situation.
He just walks away.
As you kind of enter the party, like enter like the event space, you know, the chance for the party to like actually like have a moment to themselves quickly disappears, because the second you're past the barriers, people flood over to Sequoia to get her to start signing, you know, books and pens. You know, I mean, I'm not signing pens, but you know, sign books, sign scrolls, sign letters, sign body parts, etc. And she just gets, I mean, swarmed by it. It does not take.
Severed.
It does not take
Their
more
own
than a
body
few.
parts.
Yeah. It does not take more than a few comments of like, you know, like, oh, who's your bodyguard, or who's the best of your followers, for Epsilon to go like, you know what, look, oh, drinks over there, not here. I'm gonna go grab one. As Epsilon, you know, separates a little bit, he sees in the crowd, what is that? Huh? And he thinks he sees a familiar face in Sigma, and kind of sets on a light pursuit within the event space. Tavish, standing there awkwardly for a while, realizes that he hasn't checked in with young Master Mervis, and heads over to one of the freak stations to be able to begin to set in motion the ability to get in contact with him. Lyra, you can't help but note that the way this whole area is set up bardically is allowing for multiple different types of music and entertainment to go on without just kind of flooding the streets with noise. So there must be some sort of like barrier that they have in place, or some sort of sound manipulation device that they're using that's allowing for, you realize you take one step to your right and you're hearing this almost salsa-y, you know, jazzed vibe music, and then you take a step to your left and it's far more classical, yet these two notes don't seem to intermingle at all. And so you begin to kind of look into how and like what and why that's all going on. Meanwhile, Sequoia is still just swamped with fan after fan, child after child, each one of them so excited, overjoyed to meet none other than the champion of humanity.
Hi, how's it going? How you doing?
Oh, your boy's about to pop out the woodwork. I know it.
Don't give him ideas.
As Sequoia, as you are off and alone, you know what?
Uh-oh.
We haven't done one of these in a while. Let's do a sidebar with Lyra. Let's start with Lyra. We're gonna start with Leah. I know I bait and switched. I bait and switched. I realize we're gonna start with Lyra.
Okay.
As you're investigating the different sounds and just like the way that, you know, it works, you hear a voice from behind you. It's quite entrancing, isn't it?
Oh. All right, so I guess I feel like I have to turn to look to figure out what who this voice is, because
as you turn around at first, you don't see anything, and you have to look slightly down before you notice this small hooded creature standing in front of you. He pulls back his hood just a little bit, revealing his face.
oh my goodness. Now I'm already short, so he got to be a super shorty. Oh, well.
We have
I don't
interests.
mean to be rude, but I've never seen anything like you before. Where are you from, bro?
That's not important right now.
Oh, okay.
What is important is that you've interfered with our deals. And he slides over, not slides over, there's no desk, but he like gestures over a little arcane capture mirror, like the one used by the mage in the inn.
Am I supposed to look into it? Okay.
As you look into it, it is a perfect capture of you. Like it's at an angle where it's like you see you see yourself talking to the security guard in Club Azure, and you see Tavish and Epsilon slipping behind the guard.
Okay, so he said deals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what deals are you talking about?
That one, and he points to the crown that you have.
That didn't explain much. What deals are you talking about?
We were gonna get Vance out of the city, and you all got him killed.
Well, it sounds like I didn't do anything. It sounds like you may have failed.
I guess that's one way to wash away your sin.
I'm not sure what sin that would be, but again, it's not my fault that you did not get the job done.
I guess this really does speak to the merit of Ambervalian heroes these days.
Well, I'm not from Ambervale, so
No, you just fight for them.
again, I'm not from Ambervale.
What far-off land are you from, then?
I am actually from, well, what was formerly Keep Kolok.
An Ambervalian allied territory. We're really splitting hairs, aren't we?
Well, I mean, first you said that I got in your way, but really I feel like it had nothing to do with me at all.
Yeah. Maybe it didn't.
So who did you have this deal with?
I'm sorry?
Who did you make this deal with?
Me and an associate of mine were making a deal with Vance on, well, you might know him. You seem like a fan. And he reaches over, and even though the amulet isn't, like, displayed, he taps your pocket, like, perfectly where, the amulet you got from, the Thespians is.
So Vance didn't want to be in Vice at all. He was just trying to escape.
Bingo.
So would it have been? What I'm assuming it would have been easier to escape from there than it would be to escape from where Vito was keeping him. Is that the case?
He kind of gestures up to the crown that you're wearing. It would seem so.
Well, did they say anything about? Do you know what they wanted with him?
It turns out, I guess, one of the Thespians was a little more banged up from some other dealing they had. They were looking for their next act, if you will.
Says I didn't know I don't think I didn't know them too personally, but the last time I saw them, they were destroying. It didn't end well where they left last in Ambervale. That's all I'll say.
He like as if something has drawn his attention elsewhere, or like something has like sparked his interest or whatever. He kind of like takes like a sharp step back, and his like, you can tell he's like listening to something or sensing something, and he goes, seems our time's up, but what I will say is I used to follow Ambervale's orders like you. I used to be a hero. of their causes. But it feels better now to make choices of my own regard. And a lot less people like Vance are getting hurt because of it. So maybe you should think about who your friends are and what flags you fight for. And he like pulls his hood back up and like starts to step back into the crowd I had
another question. It's okay.
And he disappears very quickly.
Crap. Okay. I didn't get my last question in. It's okay. All right.
We can return to the party.
Thank you.
As the merriment continues, we're gonna pop on over to Epsilon as Epsilon is moving about through the crowd, desperately trying to close the gap between who he believes is Sigma. So let's pull Epsilon into a sidebar. As you get closer and closer to this person, you're finally within range to kind of like vocally speak out to them if you would so want, or continue following.
Guess I would try to say something. I guess just like, but wait.
She immediately stops and she turns around, and you are in fact looking at Sigma. Huh. Epsilon. You're here.
Yeah, I guess our mission took us here. But, yeah. So, you're here too, I guess.
Are you here just because of Ambervale? Or... And she's like clearly kind of like studying you a little bit. Or did you feel the calling?
I'm not sure what this calling you're talking about is. I mean, do I feel anything?
You must have. As she stares and you can tell she's a little confused. You know, your brain is going through like, oh, the calling. What could that? What do you? And the only thing that's coming to mind for you is that bizarre dream you had involving the spire leading up to the Amber Crystal, where this name was being echoed to you, and you had to resist this arcane magic because this pull, this hold that had latched onto you.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about anything called the calling, but I had this dream. Weird dream about Spire and for this name, but I don't know.
At the mention of the Spire and hearing the name, like for a split second, like, and for the first time since you met Sigma, you see her like fully smile, like no game, no trickery, no coyness to it, just a full-on genuine smile. And let's get a miscellaneous dice roll for Epsilon.
Miscellaneous ass dice roll. Oh, okay, that's okay.
While it's faint, while it's fleeting, you can't help but feel the fact that this for a moment, this energy, this arcane imprint, this something feels almost exactly like elements of that mysterious figure in the dream that you had. And on top of that, that mysterious golden orb that you witnessed in the gray. So you're here for the calling. That has to be it. So you know what we have to do.
No, I don't know anything about anything.
Just tell me, Epsilon. And she stares like hauntingly into your eyes. Are you ready to serve?
Serve who?
You can tell that like the mere like interaction of not saying like yes or no is like causing like she's not answering, and she's kind of distancing herself from the statement in general.
Ah!
Maybe I misjudged this. Maybe you're not here. And she starts to like take a step back from you, physically distancing herself from the conversation. You feel as if interacted with, she is going to like attempt to like leave and disappear into the crowd.
Wait, Sigma. I just need you to tell me, what does it mean?
And you can tell thoughts are racing through her brain. And she seems a little more back into the conversation, but you can tell there's this element of she's like trying to unravel something like in her own thoughts. She goes, I don't have many I can trust. I trust you, Epsilon, for what it's worth. We need to make a diversion here in Vice. She says, the words coming out of her mouth, and you can tell that she's almost second guessing each phrase that she's stating. There needs to be a reason for the eyes of elsewhere to be focused here on this city. Are you willing to help me with that?
If I do, tell me more about the dream.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Meet me. And she like again kind of like you can tell like she's a mile a minute in her brain. She's like, meet me tonight. We can talk more. I'm gonna get a few things in motion, but for now, Epsilon. And she like reaches and she like touches your shoulder and then like slides down her hand to like over your heart, like, we're in this together. We're gonna bring him back.
What?
And an element of Sigma that you have not seen before, as she takes her hand away from you, you watch as she fully becomes an entirely different looking person before your very eyes. And then she goes, we'll talk soon. We'll talk soon. And let's rejoin the party.
He's always laughing.
I know, right?
Oh, that's not a laugh. That's a groan. Oh no!
They all sound the same coming from you.
To keep everything moving along, we're gonna take the spotlight back on over to Sequoia. No bait and switch this time, as Sequoia is still signing autographs and moving through this crowd, and it's I mean this unending tide. She's pulled over into a sidebar.
Oh.
Someone's. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
As you're signing tons and tons of autographs, you hear a familiar yet maybe unwanted voice echo out through the crowd, and that's right, everybody! It's Sean E. Baby, and we're of course working on that legacy. Oh my goodness, it's the champion of humanity! I mean, we're talking about one of the single-handed greatest heroes of Ambervale right here. And he like steps up and he's like stands next to you, and like in between his words he's like get your autographs, children, women, this is one of the greatest heroes. And then like in between each one of his like outbursts he leans in and goes, hey, Lady Zur wants to talk to you. I think I might be able to get that to happen. She's the one who knows about Hedera. And then he goes back into, like, that's right, little lady. And he like picks up a child so she can like show you her autograph book and you can sign it. And then he puts her down and pats her on her head and, gives her back to her parents, and then leans back over and goes like, yeah, come on, I told you I'd work my magic. Give me a little credit.
Yeah, fine. Right.
Look, just one for the freak, and he like tentatively puts his arm over your shoulder for a second, and like poses for a couple of like arcane captures, and then goes like, all right, cool, all right, so I'm gonna go let her know that you're good to talk, and then security will come pull you back stage side in a bit, and you can.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
That's right. Hey, everybody, I gotta head out. But, like, look, she's gonna be here for a bit longer. Look, the powers that be are gonna need her soon, so get those things signed. Sean E. out! VICE freedom, baby!
I hate that guy.
And he steps back into the staged area. As you sign more and more different, like, autograph books and all things of the sort, security does not too long from then come over and go like, sorry everyone, we're gonna have to go ahead and pull Sequoia away for a bit, and the crowd is very like, oh no, Sequoia,
It's
please.
okay, guys, I'll be back. Guys. I just need a break from signing and everything. My hands are getting tired. Sorry.
And they usher you back to the staged area, and you're met with none other than Lady Azure.
Hey, man.
And the only other person in the room with you is none other than Shawnee, Baby Legacy. So I hear you're interested in Hedera.
Yeah. I know it's gonna sound kind of weird, but so my mother's name was Hedera. She was the queen of the Forbidden Forest right outside of Ambervale, and something happened to her that they're kind of keeping hush up in Ambervale, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. And I had no idea there were other Hederas in other forests, and I don't understand what's really happening. I just want some answers, if it's at all possible.
Well, you've come to the right place. The Whispering Secrets are something that I find myself acutely attuned to. So, what is it that you're most curious to know?
There's so many questions I have. Like, I want to know what happened to her in Ambervale, but I also want to know, like, how is there another one? Like,
Well,
How
I'm
is
more
she-
than
how is
willing
she's-
to delve into these secrets. How about I trade you a whisper for a declaration?
Oh, I, what's the declaration? I guess I should ask before I agree to it. I mean, because, Vito's kind of got me scared over there.
Oh, Vito. A dog with so much bark. But unlike Ronnie, not as much bite. But I don't deal like those two do. For me, I just want... Well, I want there to be less of this Ambervalian interventions within our city. So if you're willing to denounce the group that follows you, I'd be more than happy to unveil what secrets I can find of the happenings of Ambervale and the story of Hedera.
Like, I gotta leave my friends that are with me?
What happens outside of Vice is of little to no concern with me. If you're willing to make a public declaration here while in Vice about how, let's say, the rest of these heroes are maybe they're just followers, of yours, and that they're lesser heroes. Something that diminishes this viewpoint that people have of Vito and his new Ambervalian hit team.
I mean, I don't know that they're like lesser heroes, I mean, they've all done their own things.
I could always set up a meeting with you in Hedera.
But that's only if I make this declaration, right?
That is the way things work here in Vice.
Could I have some time to think about it?
Sure. Enjoy the party.
Thank you.
And as you're both walking away, Shawnee's like, huh. Tough decision, eh?
Yeah. What do I do?
Here. I can get us a table for the parties. That way you have a little time to yourself. I don't want to intrude. I know you can find me a little grating.
You little. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do.
As he's kind of like stepping away from you, like heading towards like the crowd, he looks back at you and he goes, hey, not that I have like a whole lot of experience with like parents and stuff, but the way you talk about, her, I'm pretty sure she'd tell you to do what makes you feel like you're living up to the best you. But again, I never had parents. And he steps into the crowd.
What would Hedera want me to do?
And on that note, let's rejoin the party.
I don't like this.
Everybody says something bad when they come back.
I didn't say anything.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
As the merrymaking all continues. You know what? Actually, speaking of merrymaking, continuing, let's pull good old Tavish into a
I was
sidebar.
like, it's his turn. Take that man too. Take him away.
Right.
The merrymaking of everything it's very loud, it's very joyous. There's so many different displays of art and culture going on. You notice some things feel very, like Vice and alien to you, but others have a little bit more of like recognizable, like Aurelian, like, traits and feeling to them. One of the acts that's going on is this group of dancers. They have these chains, and they each like tug on each other and then pull themselves back and intertwine and interweave. And yet the chains themselves, they never knot as they flow through the gaps, the holes, and artfully create different like structures with each other as they cartwheel and dance with each other. The group is kind of moving their way through the crowd. And then you find yourself all of a sudden like in the middle of their dance as they each dance like behind you, past your limbs, slipping between your legs, cartwheeling around you, flipping over your shoulders. And then as beautiful as it is, you find yourself all of a sudden locked in place. Your arms, you've been chained. They're all around you, and they cease dancing. Yet the crowd itself seems to be still cheering as if the entertainment is still going on, yet all of them stare blankly at you, unmoving. A individual steps up to you, and at first, nothing about this person seems familiar at all. Nothing about anything, their smell, their height, the way they look. And then they stop for a second, staring directly into your eyes. And their eyes become crystalline red. The whites of their eyes gone, the iris just mono filled in this crystalline red color. And immediately, before they even utter a word, that you're staring at Croupier, Master of Chips to Passacor. And he stares at you and he's like, Tavish. This smooth male voice slipping out of this woman's frame who looks at you. I thought you called yourself a hero. This is more a familiar look than I think you were going for.
No. I look back at it and say, I don't remember you, but I know that you were there. I don't know what it is that you'll want from me, or what I gave you back then. But you'll find that there is no kin now, and I will not do whatever it is you want.
Oh, you're gonna make me blush, Tavish. And besides, you don't seem that different. And he plucks the garments that you wore for Vito's display. No, inside there, well, I would say your heart, but we both know that that's not beating. Lies the same good old Tavish. Tavish who had many descriptors. Hero, not one of them. But look, Tavish, baby, you can pull at the chains all you want, and you can tell yourself you're going to be a better person, but deep down, I think you know what type of hero you're going to be.
I don't know what you remember of me from the past, but I don't want to be this way. I don't want whatever it is that I was like before. And maybe it does feel familiar now, but it's not going to last. I don't.
He pulls a finger up and puts it over your mouth, and you feel yourself like the chains constrict, in this like magical bond that he has over you is like amplified, and you can feel that red chain that you saw in the gray like anchor you down, like you weigh so much at this moment. And he goes, "Look, you can speak these words, but it's going to be all about if you actually can live up to it. And as a betting man, I bet not. But I guess we'll see. Good luck." And as if none of it ever occurred, the audience around you is just like, "Oh wow, oh yeah," and like the sound comes ripping back in, and the dancers all just resume. The red of the eyes is gone, and you realize that this whole time you've been standing perfectly still, but the act has just been going on around you, and they've built this like leaning, like, or not leaning, but this like spired tower around you with like their bodies holding onto the chains as supports as they lean, and you being the main anchor source. And then they hop down and they all applaud, and they give you like a respectful bow for taking part in their show and display, and they dance their way deeper into the audience. And on that note, let's return to our party. As the party kind of wanders about through the streets of the Sweet Street Festival, each one of you hears, "Hey! Hey! Lyra! Sequoia, I got the table! Epsilon! Yeah, no, that guy! Hey, tap his shoulder! Tap his shoulder!
Sequoia.
Tavish! That's you! I see you! Look, you're easy to see! Look! The Shawnee got us a table, baby! Come on!
I hate
All
that
right.
guy.
Making our way to the table.
Oh,
As
Oh, your boy.
as you all arrive over at the table, Shawnee's like, "Oh, all right, fun festival, right, guys?"
It's definitely been interesting.
could say that.
Tavish, you good? You kind of look like you got something on your mind.
Are you
Aye.
okay?
I do.
What happened?
Yeah, I also have things to share.
Oh,
What happened, guys?
I haven't been fully honest. I
I
look at
look at this man.
Lyra and to the rest of the faces and kind of look at Shawnee and just kind of like, Shawnee, I don't mind if you stay, but I'm going to ask you to be quiet for a minute. I'm going to ask each one of you to be silent for a minute.
I'll just go grab some drinks for the table. And Shawnee excuses himself.
I look at Lyra and say,
Yeah.
going to need you to listen, and you're going to have a lot of questions. And we're going to have to talk about it later. But this is not my first life on this realm. As Sequoia and Epsilon know. This is the second time I've been here. Walked this world, ate its food, and lived. And I've begun to have memories of that life. Moments, small little things sometimes cause it. You know what I remember is... I remember being in command. I remember leading men, women, and children, both in battle and in life. try and make their lives better, try to bring peace and prosperity. And yet, by some action or inaction, it all came to ruin. I had a talent for words, an ambition for leadership, but I don't think I had the wisdom to sustain it and to give it true direction. I don't know what it got me, and I know I can look out and I see what it got them. No longer living in peace, but struggling to cling to survival from day in and day out. And I think about what we're doing now. And I can't say that it's different from the last life I led. And I find myself anchored and heavy. My words have no weight because the actions are not following behind them to do any good, but to serve myself. Ypsilon, you once told me that your father was a hero and that you aspire to be like him. I think that's what I have to do now, as well. And I have to find a way to cleave from my self-desire. A desire that I've had and felt day. To try and meddle with how things are run. And how things and decisions are made. My last life, I was in rooms that had things happen. And I made decisions and choices to change things. I don't think it's right that with this second life, I make those decisions. What I have to do now is live and act in a manner that might truly set me free. So whatever comes, or whatever end comes for me for a second time, hopefully I won't be coming back a third. They say that the actions of heroes are remembered for decades and centuries, and not the words of men. I don't think I can just live with words anymore. I have to choose action. There's something wrong with this city that goes beyond the power fight that seems to be gearing up here. I think we have to do what's right and find what's truly happening, not get involved with different ploys for power. I don't think I have all my words in thought in line, but I just had to say something and start being honest.
As Tavish finishes his speech, Shawnee rejoins the party, glasses and bottles in tow, and he's like, I didn't catch all of it, but I got the gist, and he starts pouring out drinks. To being better people and being better heroes. And to this life being the only life. And he holds his glass up.
Tavish will hold up a glass. Hi.
Alright.
So hopefully this being the last one.
And the party cheers, and you each drink your drink.
And Shawnee poisoned all of us.
Damn.
And on that
Everyone
note,
except
we are
for
going to
Sequoia.
go to
And on that note, everyone roll new characters.
a 5-minute break.
While you make new characters.
Oh god. Quickly.
Welcome back to Cinematic Epic. We're on the other side of our break, and I am, of course, Adam, your game master and host. So it's been a fun session here in Vice, unless your name is Vance. Oh boy, he's been on a parade, but not the fun kind. It is nothing but the remnants of the once center stage act in Club Azure and Vito, or Vito's club as well. But no longer, though there is an element of him still performing in the bizarre instrument within the club. The party then went on a fun little escapade to the Sweet Street via a float, and there they've encountered a whole bunch of little sidebar encounters that I can't speak here because the party can hear me, and that's secret. So you'll have to rewatch that if you want the elements, but all of the party members came back from their individual ones with kind of this look. A look of shock and a little bit of displeasure. It's right where I'd like to keep them. It wrapped up with a wonderful monologue by Tavish, exclaiming that this life is has to be made better, has to be made different, and that he hopes that if he is to perish, that he does not find his way back to this world a third time, chasing this remnant of why am I here? And on that, the party cheers as Sean E came back with drinks from Vito and his section. And let's pop back in to our party. Each one of you wakes up in the room of your hotel.
I told y'all we got poisoned. I told you.
Lyra,
I was joking, and I was so right.
Lyra, you're just like laying with your back on like the kitchen table. Tavish, you find yourself like over like your face down, like on the floor, like half in the room, half like out onto its balcony. Epsilon, you find yourself like in a burrito of sheets on your bed.
That's just like.
And Sequoia, you find yourself like in a fetal position in the middle of the living room, surrounded by all of the potted plants that you could move, to encircle you.
I want to be back in the forest so bad.
I miss home.
Each one of you has a massive headache. This, of course, represents itself a little different in Tavish. For Tavish, it's not so much that your head hurts, but it feels like all connection to your senses is just distorted. Like it feels like occasionally your eyes just like blur as like whatever magics sustain your form are like in some sort of flux or like miscommunication with each other. The rest of you, every shuffle, every time like a Tavish moves and the clink of his armor, it just sends this raging pain as each one of you has a massive migraine. This migraine is only made worse by
Shawnee.
this noise erupting from the bathroom. No, and it just like kind of continues that way.
We'll just
What?
mind.
Who
not
is yelling?
being so... Wait, who is that?
We messed up. We messed up so bad. And he stands staggering out of the restroom is Shawnee. Epsilon, from where you are, you can kind of barely see as you like lean your head out from this like burrito of blankets that you've like put yourself in. And so right now, the only people that can see what Shawnee plays is Sequoia and Lyra. Tavish, you can kind of make out the identity of it as you're slowly like getting yourself like back into the room. But Shawnee plays from his freak, he projects this arcane capture, and it's of the enforcer. You see him walking, the Marcus Hayes. You see him walking down a street, and then all of a sudden, Tavish walks into frame and stands in front of the man. They're exchanging words. You can't hear what they're saying. The enforcer pulls his blade. Tavish pulls his. They start to collide back and forth. The man has surprising skill. It pushes Tavish back a couple of steps as he goes to send in another blow and continue his slight advantage over Tavish. Something hits the man, and he staggers backwards, and then Lyra's there casting out sound at this individual. He's getting battered and beaten, but he pulls out a scroll, and this like wall of fire shoots out at the two of them. But then the wall of flame ceases its momentum towards Lyra and Tavish as the flames in fact turn back around, weaving through the air and then smashing back into the enforcer, sending him flying as Epsilon steps in, wielding flame and blade.
Avengers.
As one, he stands up and he goes to like lunge back towards the party, but roots from the ground grab his hand and slam him back onto the ground. As then the party stands around the individual, and each one of them looming over this enforcer. The party is joined by Shawnee as the party just proceeds to start kicking and stabbing this individual while they are pinned to the ground via the roots.
Did we just murder someone?
Let's get a
public?
perception check for the party, excluding Epsilon. Tavish, at this point, you are close enough. Epsilon, you're still getting yourself out of your burrito. But yeah, let's get a perception. The number to beat is 16. No bonuses are applied as you are all suffering from your migraine.
Well, shit.
Okay.
Oh, fuck me.
God, none of us did well.
Yeah,
You know what? It's a reflection
Well-
of the fucking migraine, huh?
Hey, you know what? I don't hear anything coming from the burrito man, all right?
As each of you look in horror, as you're just watching yourselves like brutalize this person, you hauntingly watch as all of you like stop stabbing them, clean your blade, sheath them, and then begin to shape this person into a very clear and obvious number.
Oh, I knew it!
As the party
Shit.
as the party again just watches themselves step away from this individual, as they all step away, the number 7 is very clearly depicted by their body.
God damn it.
What just happened?
You remember all the other murders? They were all shaped into numbers.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they had 11, 10, 9, 8. And then 8 was like this fighter from Ambervale. And then now 7.
So here's the bad part though. So what we just watched is on a closed circuit. So there's very few people that have it. But if this gets out onto like the main like freak network, everybody's gonna see this. I mean, right now it has to only be a handful of people that the ding of your elevator coming up to this level chimes. At this point, a very few amount of people could even possibly know about it, but we're going to have to figure out who it chimes again, alerting you that it is the elevator is maybe 2 floors away. But I mean,
I'm not being a burrito anymore.
Hold on now.
Wait.
What?
The burrito.
Everybody,
let's get a roll real quick for getting out of the burrito for Epsilon. This will be a miscellaneous roll, as these are very nice high fiber sheets. But Epsilon cares not for them. Epsilon will not be held by no burrito. Epsilon is able to escape from the burrito just in time for the elevator lift to reach your floor and the doors to open. As the doors open, a flood of what look like similarly dressed enforcers come pouring into your room, swords drawn, crossbows in hand, scrolls at the ready, easily 20 plus individuals. And it's also time for us to introduce our epic encounter.
Oh god.
I'm so glad I deburritoed.
This epic encounter works like this. It's the magical migraine. At the start of each round, I will roll a d20. If during that round a player makes an action roll within one of that roll, your magical migraine will kick in. Quick example of this would be if I were to roll a 15 for this and you roll a 14, a 15, or a 16, your magical migraine will take effect. So let's have some fun and let's roll up
magic
in
migraine. Does that
for
mean
our party.
that when you say magic migraine, what does that entail? Like, it's like we got like superpowers because of the migraine, or like?
Oh, it's definitely
like
not a good thing.
Not good for us.
Yeah, I know, but I was hoping.
Let's get a initiative roll for each of our party members.
Oh.
I really rolled a 1.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god. Just
Here,
the
what
extreme.
kind of you got
They're
there?
fine.
Oh, actually, hey, wait a minute.
We're gonna go with that
wait a
10.
minute.
We're gonna go with that
Yeah.
10.
Time out, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Nah, no, I'm good. Never mind. Nah, I don't want
Okay.
to. I don't want to hold a 1. I'm good. I'll be last.
Oh, your gauntlets.
Yeah, I'm good.
So let's get that first magical migraine roll. The roll for this battle round is
Oh god.
9.
Okay.
So rolls of 8, 9, or 10 will be punished. And up first, we've got Lyra. Lyra, so right now, you, Tavish, Sean, and Sequoia are all standing in the middle of the room, most adjacent to the flood of enemies that are coming in. Epsilon is coming out of his bedroom, so he is the furthest away from the threat. And right now, Epsilon, you would be kind of aiming over, through, or past the party towards the front door. There are, like I said, around 20 individuals that are flooding into your room. Some carry crossbows, some carry scrolls, and others are like swords, maces, axes, and shields charging at the party. What would you like your first? What are we doing?
Okay, question. The little tuning fork that I have, okay. My first thought was to take it and try to like make a sound that I can try to amplify and hopefully like throw them off a little bit. Like, I feel like with us, this is going outward to them to try to like. Does that make sense?
You want to try to make a magical attack
like
that disrupts
and like disorient them essentially.
Mm-hmm. Let's that'll still be based on your sound rolls, your sound attacks. So let's get a roll for your sound.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh my god.
So close.
So close.
You're able
Terrified.
to ripple this sound out, and you're able to keep it away from your own ears, avoiding both the disorienting effects of the note, but also the fact that the magical migraine would have been awful, involving a loud sound that is also meant to be disorienting. As like the front group, especially of like the ones that are charging, like that, like one hand comes off their weapons as they're like trying to plug like an ear and things like that, and the ones that are like trying to aim crossbows and such also are like delayed and hesitating from the impact. Would you like to force an action, or are we heading over to Tavish?
Not this time. I feel like I'm gonna fuck it up the second time, so let's go.
Okay, no problem. Tavish, we're over to you.
Okay, how close am I to a table?
You could step back towards Epsilon to grab the kitchen table. It would be about 5.
I would like to... Understood. I would like to grab the kitchen table and use it as a shield and push it toward and move my... I'd like it to pick up the table, using the table as a barricade, push it towards the door to try and block as many guys from getting into the room as possible.
Okay, all right, I like that. We will start this with lifting for the table, and then we will go into an athletics check after that, which I believe you have 2s in both of those. For the table part, lifting the table is not too hard, so we're going to call that a 9 or an 8 to beat, and then we'll go past that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're able to lift up the table, no big deal. And now it is pushing through, like, you know, overpowering the people that are coming in and blocking the door. This one will be a little more difficult. So we're gonna say the challenge rating for this is a 15. 15 to beat.
Whew. Shit.
It's at least not getting the magical migraine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it does have to be unmodified. So your bonus, your +2 bonus for athletics does not trigger it to go to 9.
Okay.
But right as you what you do is you're not able to like push the the group back, but you are right now like the front group of melee fighters that were trying to push through is on the other side of the table, and you're in like a push war with them. Would you like to force an action?
That's totally fine. Let's try to force push to try and gain ground against the group.
All right,
force
so
an action
this
that way.
yeah, with a forced action this way, it will be a -4 as this is you're using a non-combat, and so let's get that. One of the other new additional penalties to forced actions is forced actions increase your critical fail chance by 1 for each forced action. So this will be a -4, and you will crit fail on 1 and 2.
Understood.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
terrifying.
Magical migraine.
God damn it.
As you begin to push, like you start to get a little bit of leeway, but they push back hard, and the table comes in and clacks right into the center of your helmet, and that noise, that twanging metal sound, echoes in your helmet, and the table like slips out from your grasp, slamming down onto the ground, only amplifying the noise and disruption from it. You stagger backwards towards Sean E, Lyra, and Sequoia.
Great. Okay. Yeah. No more forced actions. I'm good.
All right, so that sends us over to Sequoia.
Okay. So did the opponents, that they break through the table barrier?
Right now, they're still on the other side of the table. They haven't gone past it yet.
Okay. So let's try. What's the table made out of?
It's a wooden table.
Okay. So I'm going to try to manipulate the wood in the table so that it will basically kind of grow into like the doorway so that it becomes a solid door barrier.
Perfect. All right, let's see here. That'll be a part of our spell casting earth, which we have a 3. So let's see that roll. 12 goes up to 13. It doesn't fully cover the entire doorway, but it does create a, like, so now instead of just like running or walking through, they're having to like slip their way through like holes, or they're having to like cut down a branch to like get through, kind of thing. So it is decreasing the rate in which that they come in massively.
Okay.
Would you like to force an action?
Nope.
And last but not least, we've got Epsilon.
Right. I'm gonna get my sword and I'm coming up to slash at some people as far as I can, I guess. I'm trying to get to the front. You know.
Perfect. Yeah, getting to the front and clearing the room is not difficult, so you're able to close the distance. Let's say there are 2 people who are splitting right from the table, and then there are 3 people splitting left from the table. Which group would you look to pursue, or would you attempt to push past them to like one of the scroll wielders or crossbow wielders?
God dang it. I can just imagine the sadness. I feel like I need to try and take out one of these people wielding the scroll, I feel like. So I'm gonna get to the front with my sword drawn. And I guess I just wanna like, so I got a sword in one hand. I just wanna point at one of the scroll bearers and just try to like beam him with like a fire ray through the chest.
Okay. All right. Let's see our spell casting fire roll.
Oh, that's a 20. he done got beamed.
You're able to so accurately and like intensely get the blaze to hit him that like you break the arcane binds of the scroll, and it just incinerates the scroll, hits the individual, sending him flying back, slamming into a wall, and he's just completely like he's just gone. Like he's just outdone, dropped, no questions asked. Would you like to force an action?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my one free force I get. I'm gonna slash one of the guys on the right that's coming up.
And just to go over free forced actions now, so that is going to make it so you're going to just operate on the normal forced action requirement, and no increase in your crit fail, with the bonuses that you have to your. I'm sorry. What type of attack are you doing?
I'm sword attack.
Sword attack. What is your sword trait?
I got 4 for
4. So with that, you're going to be able to reduce your forced action penalty to -2 instead of -4, and no crit fail because of your free forced. All right, and so you're swinging at one of the people pushing past the table, correct?
Yeah, on the right.
On the right. Let's see it.
Damn.
That is not high. It's not worth re-rolling. I think I'll just live with my 3.
You slice over towards them, and it hits like across their armored vestment, but it is not enough to pierce through the chain and leather that they wear. And
stand back.
We go into our NPC turn. First of our NPCs that we'll do is Sean E. Sean E is going to immediately jump behind Lyra and Sequoia, and he's just kind of like behind the 2 of them, like, oh,
bitch.
and the rest of our NPCs. So we've got a couple that are going to make some attack rolls at good old Epsilon. And Epsilon, what level armor do you wear? I apologize, I don't have that written down. Are you light armor?
Yeah, it is. It is indeed.
All right, so
I'm a
we'll
lightly armored individual.
We're gonna roll 2 attack rolls against good old Epsilon, and then he'll roll his armor rating on his D10 for that. impressive attacks from our NPCs. I believe only
Fantastic.
on a 1 on this D10 roll would the 4 even do anything. So let's see if Epsilon armor fails him.
Wait, this is such trolling. I can't store that.
You
Can
just
I?
spoke.
I don't want to
You
get
just
blown
spoke
up.
that into existence.
So the first you see these 2 sloppy attacks like coming their way at you. The first one barely like does anything. Like it just kind of like hits your shoulder a little bit as you kind of are moving, and the blade like doesn't even connect it. You just kind of get whacked with the flat. The other one, like you dodge up here perfectly, but like you step back in too confidently, and you like feel the tip of the blade like pierce into your thigh a little bit. Like nothing massive, but it's one of those ones where in your head you're like, I did it right, and then just didn't finish the action of dodging like out of this attack, and you feel the blade puncture into your thigh. Tavish is going to need to roll a armor check from a couple of the crossbow-wielding assailants firing disorientedly at him. So we'll get 2 of their rolls real quick.
Oh shit! Oh my god! I thought it was that
They're
20,
rolling.
and I was gonna cry.
They're rolling.
And then let's get an armor rating for Tavish on that D10 this time plus 6. Is that all right?
Holy shit!
Tavish has something
Wow.
else you just rolled there.
Tavish, as you're staggering backwards from the migraine, your arms are a little like open, exposed instead of in a more tight and defensive position, and you feel the bolts like slip right in like to the joint of your armpit, and so like it's like they're like wedged in that area as they stab into your like your lat and kind of rib cage-ish area. One of the assailants is attempting to cast a scroll, some form of scroll magic over at Lyra. So we're going to roll their use magic item first to see if they can even do it. This is still at a disadvantage because of the disorienting effects. So let's roll this poor enforcer's use magic item check. He holds it up, and with great gusto, he goes, "Yes, take this!"
Oh,
and is confused as why his scroll didn't activate, and it stands there like confused, like, is it on? Like what? And doesn't know like what he's supposed to do. As the other side of the table decides that they are going to, they smell blood, they see that Epsilon's taken damage, and they, instead of charging into Sequoia and Lyra, come flanking around towards Epsilon and will roll their attacks against him. We'll do 2 more. All right, these are not amazing rolls. You could still beat them with your D10. Let's see it.
Man,
D10 plus
man,
2 for his light
Shut
armor.
up. Don't say that. Shut up.
Look
Okay.
at
Hey,
it.
look at that.
I did
I
it.
got
Okay.
a question. How come were they all not at a disadvantage? Was only one disoriented, or were they all?
No, they were all disoriented. That's why only on a 1 on his first armor check could he even fail.
Okay.
The
So
attack.
just because it was a 1. Okay. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No, honestly, if Tavish and Epsilon didn't roll 1s, they wouldn't. have
Okay.
gotten-
I was just clarifying because
Yeah,
I wasn't
no,
sure,
you're
because you
good.
only specified it for mine, so I was like, wait a
No,
minute.
no. I do
Okay.
apologize.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
They come
So
around
I did
and
stuff.
Epsilon.
Y'all just
Like you now have this group of 5 individuals like swinging blades at you, and you're kind of like parrying and dodging, and you find yourself thinking like, I'm so glad they're not better, as like the haft of axes and like the flats of blades like smack into you. And there is at least 5 more like adversaries that are like pushing their way and hacking their way through the doorway, and another 2 that are still like disoriented to the point where they're not making combat actions this round. So we're going to be going back to Lyra, but before we go back to Lyra's turn, we do have to roll another magical migraine roll. So the roll for this battle round is
Come on.
10. Okay.
You know he
So
wants to roll
rolls-
like a 19.
I know.
Rolls of 9, 10, and 11 are the punished rolls. This
What
round.
would happen if it was like a 19? So would a 20 be bad?
So basically, it would be that you still get like the level of success that a 20 grants you, but there would be some element of negative that happens to it. Whether like this could represent like Epsilon shoots a fireball out of his hands, but he like crits, so it like hits his target the way it's intended, but it also like he can't control it, so it launches him back as well, hurtling himself through the room. Because he can't, like, there'd just be some version of a failure element to it as well.
Okay.
I've become Rocket Man.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what do we got, Lyra?
Okay, so Lyra, I feel would try like I can see the doorway, so I can see them all trying to get through the doorway. I'm assuming, yes. Okay, so I feel like what she would try to do is again try to make a sound and use it to like push them back out of the room.
All right, let's get a sound attack roll.
Like, get out of here! Oh, you bitch!
Punished.
You do have mastery. Mastery is a once per day reroll. Would you like to use it?
Because if I do it, I don't get to do it again.
Say per day or per session?
Per day?
I would say most of the time it's per session, but like there will be it is technically not like per session. You know what I mean? So there's a little grace period in like if there's like simulated time, etc. That I can restore them.
If we go to sleep and wake up again, no.
Quick! I take a power nap mid-combat.
All right. All right.
We doing mastery? 5?
Yeah.
All right, let's see that mastery roll.
Erased.
Oh, come on.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Hey, it's better. It's better.
No.
God,
Oh,
that's so
nah.
awful.
Marginally better.
You send out this blast of
Piss.
sound, but
And
as
that's how they reacted. They yawned at me.
as it gets over to them, it's just kind of more like a pushing the wind and kind of a light breeze, and they're like, "Oh, what's okay?" Anyway, and they
God
keep
damn it.
pushing their way through. Would you like to force an action?
No, but I feel like I should.
All right, heading on over to Tav. We forcing? Heading over to Tavish. What we got, Tavish?
Shit.
I would. So I have this bolt in the armpit area, right?
You got two in your like left armpit area.
And I know that they would hinder movement if I leave them in. Let's go ahead and take them out.
Let's get a toughness check for that.
Toughness.
Does he even feel it?
Does he have feelings?
More than
Wow, guy.
you're
Doesn't even
able
have
to the more important part is you're able to remove the bolts without doing unnecessary damage to yourself, to the point where it's hindering you regardless. So you're able to pull those out nice and easily, and it is not going to hinder you this turn.
I will go
That's
ahead
nice.
and pull my sword, put myself in a prominent position to be attacked, and yell to Sequoia, "Sequoia, find us a way out of here!" As I prepare myself to parry multiple attacks.
Okay. Heading over to Sequoia.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so we're in the hotel, right? So we're not in our
Yes.
like. Okay.
We're in the
So-
penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
So we're up high then. aren't we?
Very high.
Indeed. Sequoia
And there's
can't
only
fly.
the one exit where the one exit where the table is.
Yes, that's the only like door exit. Yes.
This is a fire. This
Like
is a
how you
fire
phrase that.
hazard.
Yeah. Okay.
It means there's windows.
So. Yeah, but I mean.
I know. I was
I'm
just
not
asking. There's
fly.
windows.
Oh yes,
Um,
there's the balcony, that the window to the balcony that Tavish woke up at.
Can't fly. No, okay.
Okay. I don't have. So we're up high in there, but I do have all the potted plants that I pulled out.
This is true. You do have all the plants.
Them plants.
So I am going to manipulate the plants.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the
How
vines
yet?
are back.
I am a mother's daughter. No, I'm actually kind of thinking like. I don't know, honestly, initially the first thing that came to my mind was like Fantasia with like the brooms that became sentient and started like carrying things, and like so I was like imagining like giving the plants sentience so that they can come and like go and like try to like
Are they fighting?
attack
things?
the
Oh,
people and the door and to kind of like form like this like cage around them so that they can't continue moving.
Okay, I like it. Let's see that nature
Become
roll.
Groot.
I am Groot. Oh,
And
no.
plus
All to
3.
you.
No, so
That's Earth magic though, right?
Yeah, it
So
is Earth
it's a
magic.
plus
So
3?
you,
But-
you have a. So what it is a +1. You get to you have a mastery at level 3. You do have mastery. So would you like to re-roll?
Yes.
Once per session, mastery. Here we go.
Come on, please don't fail me. Please do not fail me.
Fuck me.
Hey, look,
Well,
mastery
you get to
rolls
keep.
just
You get
like
to keep the
threes.
7.
You do get to keep the 7.
You do
So
keep
as you bring out the magic, the plants, they are listening to your call, but they're having to like shove their way out of these pots and like get them like de-root themselves. So they're all like doing that, and they're not able to like get out into the combat yet. But they are still like beginning to like uproot themselves.
You just have them take the swords from everyone.
Right?
Would you like to force an action?
Sure.
Oh,
What would we like to force?
That is a good question.
it's fair.
Okay. Where are all of our opponents at the moment? What are like
Right
how
now
close-
they're
what
all
are
in-
they-
Right now, they're all in front of you. You've got 5 surrounding Epsilon. You've got 3 preparing to shoot crossbows, 2 preparing to use scrolls, and then the rest are outside of the door trying to get in.
Are there any other kind of natural materials in the room that I could try to use?
No. The table and the potted plants were the main substances within this room. You'd have to leave this room to grab other wooden objects.
The soil in the pots. That's it.
Just throw like little dirt clods at everybody. um. Okay, then no first action.
Damn. She said, "Take it back."
All
Well,
right,
I'm trying
not
to
a
think, I'm
problem.
like, what can I
Heading
do?
I
to
get it.
Epsilon.
I forgot about him.
So I got people all around me, right?
Yes, you got 5 individuals in. They're trying to form a circle around you to like box you in. Right now, they are not fully around you, but that's what they're attempting to do.
I would like to attack in the direction of whomever is preventing me from, whoever's between me and the party, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what is this? A sword attack or a?
yeah, I'm gonna do a sword attack. Good old sword.
All right, let's see this attack roll at the opponent closest to the party. You're easily able to stab right through this individual's armor, and he crumples to the floor.
Crumple.
Would you like to force an action?
I want to try, after having crumpled this man down, I want to try an intimidation on the group.
Crumple still skin.
Oh, okay.
Like-
Let's see here. What's your intimidation?
I got a 3 in intimidation.
Perfect. All right. Let's see here. For this, you just so you see here, you've killed 2. We're gonna say what's the intent of this intimidation? What are you looking to achieve?
So everyone's eyes gonna like light up with fire, and it'd be like,
Oh.
if you value your life, stand back. Just back up. Back up.
We're gonna say the number to beat it for this is a 13.
Oh dear. Oh, fuck.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
It's right there.
You're not very scary, bruh. That's what they're telling you. You're not very scary.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
There is definitely hesitation, but they're not like yielding the fight. Like they definitely still. Oh my goodness, sorry. They definitely still take a step back from you, but it's not like a true disengage. They're kind of like they see fire magic and they're like, "Oh, what's he gonna do?" And then you start talking, and they're like,
Oh, he ain't doing shit.
"Stab him."
I can stab him.
Look, okay. If they look like they're not really heating, I'm gonna slash somebody else before the end of this turn. I'm slashing somebody.
Forced
else.
action. Let's see it. So this is -2, no crit modifier because of your bonus.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Well,
I was
think
about to
that's
say,
actually,
God damn.
I think that I got a +1 on my sword to crit range, but I think I also got +1 from.
So an 18 is a critical success. Again, you're able to like bring your blade up, and so the 2 that were like getting the most behind you, the first one you dropped, you do your fiery display. They don't truly like respect and give you space, and with this you're able to just like flick your blade up and like catch one right in their throat as they go to like rebuttal, and he just drops. And in fact, with that crit, I'm going to allow for the intimidation check to be re-attempted this turn. So 13 is the number to beat.
Like, look.
I don't want to kill you.
Fuck me.
Again.
You suck.
They're like, that was lucky.
I tried, y'all.
Look,
I tried to make it so.
He
I
tried to
tried so
help.
hard.
He was like, I'm
I
gonna
feel
like
reward
this
this.
die.
Oh, you still. He's just not scary. Stop it.
I feel like this is Abu with the scimitar in the beginning of Aladdin. Like,
You idiots, we've all got swords.
They're like. Abu's like,
I don't want
oh,
to
shit.
kill you.
The
And you won't.
as entering their turn, or entering NPC turn, Sean E is barking from behind Sequoia and Lyra like, "Yeah, you guys should give up. He's killing you. Look at him."
Killing him.
But the NPCs, they do not yield. As the enforcers begin to attempt their attacks at Epsilon yet again. This is the remaining 3 making their attack rolls against Epsilon.
am I not able to get in the way and parry?
God dang,
Oh,
they
shit.
slicing me up.
Epsilon is in front of
I thought I got in front of him. My bad.
No, you had stated that you wanted to get close to like Lyra and Sequoia, who were further back.
Totally miscommunication on my part. My bad about that.
No worries. And let's get an armor roll for
shop liver. It's fine.
For Epsilon.
You don't care about me. It's okay. I was surrounded. I understand.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. I just go. Ah!
As they lunge forward, you're able to parry one of the attacks and shift the other one to a very non-lethal, like glancing blow across the chest. But the third one, he brings an axe head down, and the axe head clips onto one of your a metal like belt buckle or something that holds your clothes and shoulders, and glances out, but fillets top bit of your shoulder rather than like eating into your bone.
There's only so much restraint a man can have. There's only so much restraint, and they are reaching the end of my restraint. They are reaching the end of my restraint.
Let's see here. Our scroll wielders are attempting. They see Tavish standing in between Lyra and Sequoia, and they're like, well. Like they see the other enforcer struggling to put Epsilon down in melee combat. So fearing what the clad in magical armor Tavish represents, they both attempt to scroll. And let's see their scroll attempts at Tavish.
They're looking like Tobey Maguire when he was trying to do the Spider-Man joint. He didn't know
Oh
how to do
God.
Go.
The first one is, again, he holds the scroll up and he's like, all right, take this! What am I doing wrong? Like, he is very perplexed how he's not getting his scroll to activate. The other one, however, holds up his scroll, and this bolt of arcane lightning flies out from the scroll, striking into Tavish. Let's get a roll for Tavish. A roll that is... let's get a stalwart check for Tavish.
The part where we learn that Tavish has a rubber suit underneath that he wears.
As the magical currents like clearly ripple like through his body and over his armor, and there's definitely like tension within Tavish's like stance. He's able to like keep himself upright and keep himself in the fight, and peculiarly his blade, which typically presents other than like this whispering howl, no attribute, begins to cling lightning to its blade. Heading over to our crossbow wielders. Our crossbow wielders, they see the fiery form that Epsilon is wielding, and they are scared, but they are scared in the way that they want to take the opponent down. So they are going to fire their crossbows at Epsilon. So let's get 3 rolls at Epsilon.
Okay.
Let's get let me get a calamity roll real quick.
Calamity.
You got to remind me about this every time.
So high is good for
higher.
the high. The closer to 30, the better for the party. The closer to 1, the better for me. The 2 of the bolts like hit the back of one of the assailants of Epsilon as they are closer to the doorway and further from the party. The final bolt, though, does... Oh, actually, sorry. No, let's roll Epsilon's armor real quick to see if he can prevent said bolt.
Ooh.
Oh my god! I incinerated.
Whether intentionally, accidental, or otherwise, as Epsilon is moving through this, his blade comes up, and the bolt from the crossbow like hits its pommel and deflects away from Epsilon, doing no damage. And then I just need 1 more roll to represent the group at the doors trying to make their way through. How is their group effort going? Miscellaneous. Very bad. As they continue to hack, slice, and like try to squeeze through the gaps and make it through. And that means we are back to Lyra, but of course that also means we're back to another roll on the magical migraines.
20.
Fuck me.
No! 20.
What kind of shit is that?
All
That's
right,
some
rolls
dog water.
of 19, 20, and looping over 1 have the magical migraine effect. All right,
cool.
Lyra, let's see it.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where they are in relation to where I'm at right now.
So right now you've got 5 ranged assailants, 3 with crossbows, 2 with scrolls, 1 who has just used a scroll and he's pulling out another one. They are furthest away from you. They're kind of near the wall that the door that they're coming through is adjacent to. Then you have 2 melee wielders now because 1 was just crossbowed. Fighting Epsilon, and then there are about 9 trying to make their way through the doorway.
This doorway. So the one. Okay. Which ones are closest to where I'm at?
Those would be the
wall or,
ones
like,
that
the
are
door?
fighting. Those would be the ones fighting Epsilon right now. In between, so it's like you, Sequoia, and Sean E. Then Tavish, then Epsilon fighting the 2 other melee individuals, then all of the ranged combatants furthest away from the party.
Are there any between me and the door?
They are all between you and the door.
Oh, okay, figured. All right. Well, you know what? One more question. I'm sorry. Is that the rest of the party? Are they in between me and them?
Yes. So between you and the door, it goes you and Sequoia. Then Tavish is in front of you 2, directly in front of you 2. In front of him is the Epsilon and the melee. In front of those 2 is the doorway. And then technically the other ranged ones would have fanned out from the doorway. So they're kind of like not in a straight line. Yeah, but they would be closest to the door.
All right. So I'm going to... I feel like I'm still going to try to... I feel like she's still trying to go for the door because if there's 9 more trying to get in, I don't want any more in here than they're already in here.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's too many. So I feel like she would try to, like, I don't want to say make her way to the door, but get to the door, but not through the people she's with. If there were other like soldiers or whatever enforcers in front of her, she wouldn't mind. She wouldn't care. But she's trying to make her way to the door. So again, she could try to force them back out through the door.
Okay. So you would have the easiest route would be passing next to Tavish, past Epsilon, and the guys that are fighting him. That is the most direct route to the door.
And the guys that are fighting are the guys that. This is gonna sound stupid. Like there's Epsilon. The guys that are fighting him are like, where?
He killed the ones that were coming, trying to get behind him. So the ones that are alive would be most adjacent to the doorway now.
Okay, because I don't care. Like I don't care if they're there. Like if I can step to the right and they're there, and I try to hit, and if it hits them on the way to the door, I don't care. I'm not worried about them.
If they were going to be hit, Epsilon would be a potential target as well. You could easily sidestep and then avoid the 2 of them and just fire at the doorway.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like literally,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to the left or the right. Like side
Yeah,
step.
no, that I just wanted to make sure
door.
that all options were out there. Yes, you're able to sidestep and what are we sending sound magic at the door?
100%. Yes.
Let's see it.
Oh no! What is happening today? I know it's right there.
With that, one of the assailants outside the door is hit by the blast, but only the one.
So
Would
is
you
that a
like to
7
force
or is that like a 10? Yeah.
Force action.
I'm gonna try it again.
All right, let's see it. This is a -4 and a crit fail of 1 and 2. So 17 drops down to 13. with your... Actually, this would be sound, so you are minusing that by 2. So that will actually take out 2 more
Not too bad.
of
Not too bad.
the ones at trying to get through the door.
Okay. Look, that's better than the nothing.
You want to double down again?
No. So
Okay.
I took out 3.
You took out 3
within
total.
that.
Mhm.
Okay.
What did the magic do to kill these individuals? You just rattle the brains
Oh,
up
sorry.
and
Yes.
died?
So she emits a sound from. How would you theme this? Is it? Are you still using your tuning fork to create your sound?
Yeah. Mhm. Right
She
now I
she
am.
twangs this little tuning fork, and this echoing reverberation just rips through one of the people trying to like climb over the vines, like is covering their ears, and they start to bleed out of their eyes, nose, and ears, and then they slump over. One of them is just blasted backwards indiscriminately. You cannot see what happens to them. The third of which starts to have some of that same feeling of this like overwhelming resonating, and just decides to leave. Like he before it gets that bad, he's just like and just panic and starts to run away.
And it's not everywhere. It's literally directed towards
Mhm.
the doorway where they
Exactly.
are.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's just I'm just watching these people just go. And I'm just like,
Are you
look
watching
over
them,
and
or are you
just
fighting
like,
for your life?
I'm looking that way. I'm looking that
And
way.
then,
I'm looking at these guys, hold my sword, and then I just
Okay.
see behind them, they start to bleed out of their eyes and stuff, and they just drop down. I'm just like, turn fully around. Just what's going on back there?
Over here, like-
he gets stabbed once, but he's like, worth it. So Tavish, we are back to you. What
So Lyra just went forward, blasted some people in the doorway. Is she next to the barricade?
she
I
would
just took a
be.
step to the side. I thought.
She would be. She is still behind you.
Gotcha. Cool. I will step forward, grab Epsilon and pull him back behind me, and then parry up and yell to Shawnee, Shawnee! Lad, see if there's a balcony below. If we can climb up and get down. And then get ready to, like, parry attacks as well as, like, putting myself in a defensive position against the last 2 melee combatants.
My first thing I will say is, Epsilon, feeling a hand on your shoulder, would you allow yourself to be pulled?
He's locked in right now. he's
Oh.
just he's not slicing him, but he's just trying to fight the people in the front.
So
got
this will
seven.
be Epsilon's sturdiness, which is a 3 versus Tavish's lifting of a 2. So let's see this roll. A roll off between the two of these individuals. +3 on the side of Epsilon.
That's been a long time.
+2 on Tavish.
Get off me!
Just trying
Get
to
off me!
save your life,
Get
lad!
off me! I'm fighting.
And they both.
You're not my dad.
Damn!
Oh my god.
Well, one got +2 and one got +3.
1 off from magical migraining. The 2 of you.
You really
How
wanted us to be
lucky!
sad.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh,
You get a good grip and you pull hard, Tavish, but the area in which that you grab as Epsilon like resists and pulls himself back forward is like the fabric that is like frayed and ripped from the previous blow, and so the clothes just kind of rip as you pull. So you are still standing behind Epsilon as he holds his ground.
And
I'm
behind
gonna
me.
push past him. I'm getting him behind me.
I'm
Okay,
minus
so
1 shirt now.
I'm
You're,
not playing this
you're-
game with Epsilon anymore.
So you want to? Are you making attacks? So you're going to make an attack at one of the melee assailants? Is that what we're doing, or what are we?
Yes, we are
Okay.
doing a blunt pommel strike to the dome to one of the assailants.
Okay, let's see it.
Oh.
Oh, that's a
no.
20 with the stat.
But the
magical migraine!
He's so happy. Look at him.
All right,
I
so you step forward.
I almost want to say I want a mastery. But no, it's not worth it. It's not
So
worth it. It's
you
better,
are actually
like, no
not
matter what, I'm
allowed to
going end up
mastery
with the 20.
1s or 20s. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
your blade comes up and you pommel strike, like you hit that pommel strike perfectly. The guy, he drops, he's unconscious in a second. However, in this this moment, you're so like, you move up, you hit this, you hit this strike. Your awareness isn't quite, the sounds of battle, this weird screeching noise that Lyra keeps letting out, all of these different, like, the electricity still vibrating through you. Your blade, you pommel strike, your blade faces behind you, in between, facing near Epsilon, where you had stepped past to get in front of. The blade doesn't pierce or cut Epsilon in any way, but the flat of the blade kind of claps the side of Epsilon's face. The sparking electricity from the blade consumed earlier in the scroll. Let's get a stalwart check for good old Epsilon. This is a 4 for Epsilon. The number to beat in this instance is only 12.
Oh my god.
With the +4, you easily beat the 12. Epsilon, you feel this like taser-like impact like hit you as the magic from the electrical magic from Tavish's blade fades away with its impact on your body. Tavish, would you like to force an action?
It was close.
I am going to go ahead and drop into a defensive position against the last melee attacker, to kind of be ready to receive his impending attack.
Okay. Perfect. And then we go to Sequoia.
Okay. Where are all the attackers at this moment?
You've got 1 in melee combat with Tavish and Epsilon. You've got 5 that are actually in the room, 3 with crossbow, 2 with scrolls, and then you've got 6 trying to make their way through the door.
How close am I to everybody else?
You right now are probably about 2 feet behind Lyra and about 10-ish feet behind Epsilon and Tavish, and Shawnee is felt breathing on your neck.
He's not important.
You're the champion. Get him.
So,
Did Shawnee hear my instructions to look at the balcony and see if there was a way down?
The NPCs haven't had a turn yet.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we have shots in
okay.
it.
So the lightning that's in Tavish's sword, is it still kind of like?
It is gone now. It resolved itself on Epsilon's face.
Dang it, I was gonna try to see if I could like redirect it towards okay. So first thing what I'm going to do, I think like the people are still trying to like squish their way through the door. I want to like reinforce the table against the door and try to make it grow so that it actually does block the rest of the door so that no one else can get through it.
Okay, perfect. Let's start there. Nature roll.
Not terrible.
A 10. The patchwork, like the nature of it, you're able to like seal some of the areas that they had begun like to break through, and the fact that one of them is has perished on their way through the door, you kind of use them as like the mortar to like close it up.
Rank number 2.
Got a new Frank.
Would you like to force it?
Okay, who's the closest one who's being attacked right now?
Epsilon and Tavish are in melee with the last of the melee assailants.
With the other people.
Are my little plants still trying to force their way out of their pots?
Yes, they will be ready in the NPC turn.
Okay.
I like it.
That means I can't use them now. I can't use them until my next turn.
I mean, they're still plants. You can still manipulate them, but that might alter like their ability to continue acting on an individual level. It wouldn't just blanket affect all.
Are one of them close enough to the melee opponent?
Definitely.
Okay. So I want that one to I want that one to actually just kind of shoot out one of its branches and impale the guy who is attacking Travis.
Perfect. Let's see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
The last of the assailants in front of the two of them, you know, he's kind of like, he watches like what happens, and he sees this moment where like Tavish is a little like staggered because of his migraine, and Epsilon is like shooing off this electricity like that just smashed him in the face, and he's like opportunistically like preparing. He wants to get in there so badly, but then these branches start impaling into like his thigh, his calf, his chest, and he's like just in like immediately embroiled in pain and drops his blade. And while he is not like unconscious or dead, but he's just like sitting there, and he's like painfully trying to fight these like branches and roots as they're like stabbing into his flesh, and that is where his focus is. Effectively, he is out of the fight.
Get him off! Get him off!
Wait, who did all this shit happen to?
The last melee.
The
Oh,
last melee? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
Would you like to double force action, or are we going to Epsilon?
So that was the last person that's in the room, right?
There are, well, that's the most threatening. There are still the 5 ranged ones, so three crossbows, two scroll wielders. Another forced action would be at -8, and a critical failure of 1, 2, and 3.
Nope.
Okay. Moving over to Epsilon. Epsilon, it is your turn. Right now you have no direct melee threat. There are 3 crossbows, 2 scrolls in the room, 6 trying to get in.
Get him.
I angry after being beat up over here. They out here just stabbing my legs and stuff, shooting me with crossbow, trying to shoot me with crossbow bolts and whatnot. I think he's rushing in there, rushing up to the. I'm going in.
Scrolls,
I'm
crossbow, or doors.
I will. Where are the scroll people in relation to the door? That makes sense.
So basically, the 2 scrolls are on the left side of the door. The crossbows are on the right side of the door.
It's the scroll wielders. I'm going to slice them both up.
Slice.
All right, let's see the attack roll.
Yeah, he's running up. His sword just starts to blade. Burn.
Oh.
All right, we do still have a mastery for melee combat.
No, it's fine. I won't do the mastery.
You like get in there and you're able to swipe at one, and you give him a good cut like down the chest, but it's predominantly like a superficial like wound as you like get into melee combat with the 2 of them.
I'm going to a force, and I want to stab this man.
Perfect. Let's see it.
Oh my god.
I think I'm gonna mastery that.
All right, let's do it.
I think I'm gonna mastery that.
2 or 3.
I know. Let's spin the trend.
Right.
That's the first. Hasn't been.
You're able to like redouble the attack. It's not much more effective than the first one, but this adversary taking like. He doesn't have a weapon out. This is the one that was trying to attempt to grab a new scroll. Now getting hit across the chest a second time with his blade. He drops to the ground and he's just like cowering.
Ah!
Does he have a scroll on him still?
Yes, you do see that he has multiple scrolls like in his bag still.
I wanna I wanna try to. I guess if I can, I wanna try to intimidate him and just be like, "Give me your bag."
Oh,
Let's see it.
Problem.
An individual
Aggressive.
intimidate.
Just-
We're gonna call this one a 9. 9 to be.
just Batman.
Please,
Right.
Give me your bag.
please. Come on, bro. Come on,
You
bro.
were just not a scary dude.
You are not scary.
Listen, the game is conspiring against me. I look scary, okay?
Sure.
I feel like people are more scared of Sequoia.
How
than
many
you
people
at
did I
this
just kill in this room? A lot.
He's like
That-
he's just
That doesn't
point. Still
mean
he-
doesn't seem to affect anything.
in this. It's clearly not fear, a lack of fear that's gripping him. It's maybe you didn't enunciate it well enough, or maybe he didn't hear you or something. But he just is like clutching his bag in fear, like.
Oh,
What are
the
you
evil
asking
that's going through my mind. Okay, it's fine.
you just gotta. I don't know why you didn't just burn the scrolls, bro.
Right.
that would require
Alright.
another roll.
Would you like to double forced action, or are we going to our NPCs?
No, I don't want to get into sadness territory of another force action.
All right. So, as the NPCs, first off, we'll start with Shawnee. Shawnee is again still like, yeah, look what the champion of humanity can do. You guys can't do that. The plants, other than the one that is engaged in combat with the last of the melee assailants, the plants are now like out of their pots and beginning to walk towards the door. They are a little slower as they are still kind of like embracing the animation that has been gifted to them, but they are en route that way. The assailants, we have the one. We'll start with the melee scroll. Person. He is attempting to just point blank activate his scroll that he has out in desperation as Epsilon stands there. Let's see, can
Oh, yep.
he get his scroll to work?
I should have just killed him. Now you
He's
will have to
hurt.
die.
Nope.
You'll have to die now.
He holds his scroll up again. This is not the one that's cowering at you. This is the other one to clarify.
Okay.
There's two of them.
He holds his scroll at you. It doesn't activate, but at this close, you're easily able to look at and see the scroll that he's been attempting to wield. And this man is blatantly just trying to cast a fireball in this room, and you very much know that if something like that were to go off, it's hitting everyone like indiscriminately.
tried to
Like,
nuke us.
this is gonna hit friend and foe. He has chosen poorly, and only by chance has this battle not fallen far more chaotically.
I would have had to pull out a Goku move, try to save everybody.
Over on the crossbow front, all three crossbows are going to aim at Tavish, as Tavish is the looming figure in front of Lyra and Sequoia, and all the crossbows can really see without shooting towards Epsilon and their friends, and they already shot one of their friends. Let's get their attack roll at Tavish. All right, it's a very beatable roll, so let's see that armor roll for Tavish.
Okay.
As the crossbows fly in, Tavish doesn't even really need to move even slightly, as the bolts hit his shoulder pads, his chest piece, his gauntlet, and each of the bolts just ricochet off harmlessly. And then a miscellaneous dice roll to try to get through the doorway that has been reinforced.
Hi, bitches.
They're struggling, and at this point you can hear them they're beginning to doubt if they even really want to get in the room. They're still kind of doing it out of the stir, the roar of battle, but you definitely are hearing the I don't know, man, maybe we should just get out of here, rumbling from them. And we are to Lyra, which means it is in fact time for another one of the magical migraine rolls.
Magical migraine.
Magical migraine, but not
I love
in a good way.
it.
17, 18, 19.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ. This is why you don't take drinks from
Why my
strangers.
crit range?
Literally.
Listen, I didn't even think
It
I was
wasn't a
right.
stranger. It
I was joking.
literally-
I was literally
No,
joking.
no.
When we all
This
got
is all
poisoned.
Shawnee's fault. This is literally all Shawnee's fault.
And now I know
So,
why Adam was looking like that. I thought Adam was just annoyed that I was cutting him off.
Now we
No,
know
it's 'cause
why.
he
No,
knew.
now we know why Vito
He
was
knew.
smiling.
Oh my
This
god.
is it.
Let's get the Lyra. What are we doing?
All right, so the crossbow guys. This is my
Mhm.
Is this another situation where like one of them is in front of me, but if I like just kind of like bloop, I could,
With
like,
the
get-
current state of the battlefield, you're more than able to see them very easily by sidestepping Tavish by like one step.
okay, and they're all just kind of like, are they? How far are they?
They're
stand
grouped
out?
up. No, they're
All right,
grouped up.
so all right, so my first thought is we're gonna do like the fucking Hulk and like clap and see if I can aim for the crossbows.
Okay. All right. Let's see that. I like that.
Oh no! See,
I forget.
if I
Do you have your mastery in tow?
I have it's a 4 in sound.
Yeah. So you do have a mastery left.
So I'm like, wait,
I
Did
thought
or no?
she
I'm sorry.
used that
Did I mismark that? Did
later?
you use yours?
I use.
Oh
I
no
do-
no no no! I apologize. You
did.
use yours. Yep. I mismarked that. I was about to remove someone else's
I
mastery.
did.
So with that, I mean, they're definitely
So it's-
like their weapons like vibrate.
Do I get
and-
+4 or no? That's
No,
one
no,
thing I'm not
it-
sure
so-
about.
Yeah. So for combat, so for non-combat, it's just a static bonus.
Okay.
For combats, it increases. You get a +1. Then you get bonuses to forced actions. Then you gain mastery. Then you gain crit range.
Okay. I was like, I don't know. That's why I was asking. Okay.
So, like
I
as an
don't know how these
example,
stats work.
I
if
got
you
it,
would
I
like
got
to
it, I got
forced
it.
action, yeah. If you would like to forced action, the first forced action with sound, instead of being -4 in a +1 crit
It's
rate or
minus
+1
2.
fail rate, it's -2 and no crit fail.
Gotcha. Got
So,
it. I
speaking of that, would you like to force an action?
understand. Why not? Fuck it.
Let's see
Do
it.
it again. Oh.
11, increasing on the vibrations of the weapons. Like they're not like fully broken, but you can tell they're in a state to fail. The wires are beginning to fray. The wood is beginning to splinter. The screws
We're
are
gonna
beginning to
misfire.
shake loose.
Okay.
Would you like to double
Okay.
forced action, or we could call it there? No,
We're good.
Okay.
We're good. I have it.
Heading over to Tavish. You have there's the one person in combat with the plant in front of you. You've got the crossbowman to the right side of the door. You've got Epsilon and the last of the scroll wielders to the left side of the door, and then 6 people trying to make it through the door.
Slowly giving up.
So I have a question on
Oh, no.
Inspire.
Okay.
Can I use Inspire to, like, not to de-escalate, but demoralize them? Or is it only for the inspiration?
No, yeah, that would be going to intimidate. Yeah.
You gotta be
Gotcha.
like me.
Um,
You want to intimidate people.
You were not intimidating.
Don't
No,
say
we
it.
don't want to
Don't
be
say
like
it.
you to
Don't
intimidate
say it.
people. No,
Don't
we
say
do
it.
not.
I got a 3. Okay. I put points in
Like,
there.
no. You might as well be
I'm
Barney.
scary.
Right?
I'm scary.
Meh.
I'm just imagining. Barney
He's
say
like,
that. I'm scary.
I
I'm
feel,
scary.
I feel like if you have to state that, that means it's not true.
Yeah.
So far it hasn't been.
It's like,
But,
why aren't you laughing? It's a joke.
I'm
So
scary.
what's Tavish doing?
I'm going to try and get Epsilon back from the door frame, just swinging at people willy-nilly, and say,
Let the boy be."
somebody find a way out of here! We need to get out!
No one.
We're on the top floor.
I'm just gonna kill them all.
Hey,
Yeah.
and nobody's looking at the balcony if there's one below us to climb down to.
Because we're all fighting for our lives. As soon as someone turns to look, we're
Are
gonna
you
get
fighting
shot
for
in the
your
back.
lives, or are you those who just
Right.
can't defend themselves? Like,
I'm trying not to get shot in the back.
So do we have a combat action that we're doing?
yes, I'm gonna hop over the door frame
Uh,
It's
and
blocked
engage
by
on
It is-
their side of the door.
so that
Yeah.
you would have to, they failed to make any headway through in their last turn. So right now it is barred up. You could break through it, or yourself and go through it, but right now there isn't like access through the door.
And you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna find us a way out. I'm gonna
You just
disengage.
on that balcony you're so interested in.
So what are you doing?
I'm gonna disengage on the balcony and see if there's a balcony below us that we can climb to start
Okay.
getting out of here.
Below your balcony, there is another balcony. It's about 15-foot drop.
God damn. And how
I
high
yell
up
back
in
to the
air are
group.
we?
Sorry, say that again.
Where is Epsilon's burrito nest in relation to me?
That would be in. It would be close. It would be in the bedroom adjacent to the balcony.
All right, I'm gonna, if I still have movement left,
Mhm.
go
Alright,
there and
suppress.
start tying some of them in knots together to
Mhm.
try and create a makeshift rope.
Yep. No, that's fine. So that is what you are doing currently. Would you like to force any actions, or are you good with that being the action you're working on?
No, that's the only action I want to do.
All right. And then we are to Sequoia.
Okay. So that one guy's still fighting with my plant, right?
Yes.
All right. So I am going to take one of my daggers and throw it at him to kill him.
Perfect. Let's see a dagger roll. This is you're throwing a dagger or stabbing the person. Sorry.
Throwing dagger.
Throwing dagger at the person in melee with the plant. Let's see it.
Yeah.
Like, get off. Okay.
Eee.
As he's pulling from it, he barely gets his like eyes up in time as the dagger hits him, and he slumps. The plant, as he lays there, just continues to like just stab.
Your plants are something else. Step, 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 step.
Would you like to force an action?
Step, step.
You gonna
I wanted to
you
actually
gonna
go
stab
like retrieve
another?
my dagger from his
Not a
face.
Oh,
You are able to grab that dagger.
Okay.
And Epsilon.
I'm going to, I'm gonna look at this guy with who's holding this fireball scroll on my face. Okay, so I know what activates the scroll, right? Like what? So like, could I grab it off him without activating it?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I just want to like grab it out of his hand, like, you trying to kill us all?
Yoink.
Let's roll a grapple check.
I'm gonna fire it back at him.
What are you doing, you idiot?
This man's so happy.
Oh no.
Is it 17 with the sadness?
Oh no! It
17
was
of
18.
sadness.
Was the number?
I needed that 20. I needed the 20.
I forgot what the number was.
As you reach out and you grab the scroll and you rip it away from him, you pull it out of his hands, and he like stumbles forward and like kind of impacts you a little bit, like not like because you're pulling it out. One of his hands comes forward and kind of clocks you in the forehead a little bit, and that little bit of just like that shock, that vibrate, that piercing migraine feel, along with this like arcane flux. You don't mean to, but it's so much easier for you to activate scrolls than it is some commoner, some enforcer. And you feel the scroll in your hand beginning to activate. What would Epsilon do in this moment of this scroll activating in his hand?
I am going to blow that door up. The doorway that everyone's trying to climb through, I'm about to blow that shit up.
This is fire magic, so let's see that fire magic roll. As Epsilon tries to get this.
Okay. I don't think I used mastery.
You have not used your magic mastery. That was the one I mismarked. So you do have your magic mastery. Are we doing it?
Yeah. You know I'm super good at that magic mastery, so I think I
exactly.
need to.
And so that means that this second one is on the D10.
Eyes alight with magic. You could have tried to kill us all! And then he activates that shit. I'm just like, ah! Fucking blow the door up with that shit.
And this is a crit, so you still get your crit bonus, but it is also still triggering magic migraine. So Epsilon, as Epsilon grabs this scroll from the individual, you see the light of the scroll beginning to activate. He grabs it with his other hand. He turns it to the door just in time. There was a second where you worried that he was just going to shoot the floor beneath his feet, sending a fireball point blank at the ground. But no, he gets it up, and in fact, just barely through the smallest little crack inside of the barrier, he's able to thread this fireball through. It explodes. All 6 of the people outside of this room erupt into flames. The one who was injured and just kind of retreating out of the fight, who was waiting for the elevator, is also incinerated. The flames come blasting through the doorway in a loud, horrifically, violent explosion. Epsilon is sent to the floor as his magical migraine erupts, and he's just like, it's too loud, and it's too bright, and it's too, oh my, and he just is like on the ground. He doesn't get to enjoy this cool moment where he sent this fireball out. He immediately is just on the ground going like, explosions are loud!
Full savior, Private Ryan.
0.
And let me roll. Let me get a miscellaneous roll for our 4 combatants that are left. The 1 scroll wielder, the 3 crossbowmen. They're just hands up. They drop their crossbows. He throws his bag away. They're just hands up, and they're like. Just complete yield.
I get back up, ears bleeding. Just
like, who sent you?
I can't hear anything right now. Just yelling. Who sent you?
No one. We saw this, and he plays the video that you had seen, or you didn't see earlier, but it's you now see the video that the others saw about the party just murking that enforcer and then shaping him into a 7. We saw that, and we knew there's going to be a bounty out on your guys' head. There's no way Ronnie was just going to not let it happen. So we figured if we could get to you first.
Now look here. First of all, this here, we don't recall any of these things happening. But even if we did, you thought it was a good idea to come find us and seek us out when you saw what happened?
I thought I had enough men.
How do you feel about that decision now?
The reason I surrendered, not great.
She said he said Ronnie. He said Ronnie, y'all.
Where did you see that video?
She sent them.
There's these, and he basically describes that, like, the freak stations, like the public ones, there are certain ones that have like a more secretive, like closed network, which is kind of like the black market, or like personal postings of things that aren't meant to just be publicly accessible. And so he explains how he found them at one of those like booths.
Can you tell who posted it?
No, that's the point of those ones, is that they're meant to be, the anonymous way to talk for drugs, for gambling, for hookups, etc.
Well, while he's talking, I just want to look around and see if those bags of scrolls are still sitting around.
The only
Jesus
one,
Christ.
the two that are both scroll wielders have thrown their bags away, similar to the crossbow guys.
I'm grabbing those bags. I'm making sure I'm not getting blasted with
Do
another
we have
motherfucking
something
thing.
in our room where we can see those same things, like a booth? I would feel like rooms
So
being this fancy, we would be able to have a viewer in there somewhere.
Yes, you have the public one, but not the underground network one that they're talking about.
Well,
But Shawnee
somehow
does.
Shawnee was able to get it, so I figure it was sent to him or us directly.
Or he has a way to
Through the
access
drugs.
it from his.
Now, Shawnee, you would note that Shawnee's freak is much, much nicer than any of the enforcers that are before you or your own.
So he has a way to access it. It might not necessarily have been sent to him, but he can see it. The same way they did, just here.
Tavish turns to the group and is like, all right, well, this place we have to get out of, and we have to leave now. More will be on their way here, and as we saw, we barely made it through this, and I'd rather not have to fight and kill half the fucking city.
That's
We
fair.
barely made through this. I look around. I'm the only one
I
hurt.
look at I look at Epsilon with all of his wounds and be like, hey, do you want to die in this city, lad? I don't.
I'm just saying the truth of the matter.
And
Y'all
the truth
fine.
of
I
the
got
matter
really
is
matter
that
right
we
now. We
just
gotta
killed-
go.
And the
Yeah, you
truth of the
heard.
matter
The,
that we all have to face is that we just killed a whole number of people who are just trying to do a fucking job. So either we need to get moving, as more of them will be on their way, or we can sit here and argue the finer points of morality. So let's go.
We gotta go. Let's go, guys.
So we're gonna go, but I want to point out that they weren't doing a job. They were trying to get us before someone else did.
I turn to
But
the guy
we're-
who just talked.
but we're
He's like,
leaving.
hey, what do you do for a living, lad?
Oh,
Whatever
How
Ronnie
do you
asks.
get paid? Is this not a... The obviously you're a bounty hunter, and obviously this is how you get paid. Do you not do it for a reason?
I do it. I do it to get paid. Yeah. What?
I give him a smack over the head and be like, oh, right, they're
Oh.
doing it because it's their livelihood. Let's get out. Just as adventuring is ours. Let's get going.
I don't think he understood what the fuck I said, but it's fine.
The as the party like gets into the
care for lives.
as the party gets into the
Yeah.
elevator and begins going down, everyone's freaks would vibrate.
What the fuck is Shawnee?
Shawnee's with you.
Okay.
And Shawnee's would vibrate as well, and he's like, I feel like we probably all got the same message.
Oh, go home and look at it because we can't see it, but you can.
He clicks his, and it's a simple message. It's from Vito, and it just says, "We need to talk."
God, I hate this man.
I look to the rest of the group and like, we're not going to talk to him, right?
Nah.
He's the one that did this to us in the first place.
At least we're agreed
Um,
on that.
Shawnee says, for now, I've got a place we can lay low for a minute while we get our bearings. It's not far from here.
I guess we don't
Oh
have
my
any other
God.
choice. We might as well.
Am I still wearing the different, like, bone pieces that Vito gave? Are we all still wearing the things that Vito gave us?
Yes, you would all still have that.
I start taking mine off.
It could be a tracker. That's fair. I didn't want to wear
A skin
Vance's
cloak.
The
skin
skin,
anyway.
the skin
I
cloak.
did not want to wear his skin cloak. That was creepy and against my values.
As the party makes their way to this little hideout that Shawnee has, once you're in there again, all of you get another notification. Shawnee, once the party is gathered, opens his up again, and it's Vito. This time, it's a video message. It's a real ballsy move. I figured you'd pin it on someone. I didn't think you would just go do it yourselves. It's such brutal fashion. I gotta say, I don't hate it, but obviously I'm gonna have to distance myself from you guys. It's a bit too much heat. People know I had beef with Ronnie and the Enforcers, and, well, after all, you're wearing my trophies. I will still honor the deal, even though I guess we didn't really shake on it, but what would I be if not your friend? I'll get those edits made for your contract, but this will be the last favor I do for you, because there's going to be a bounty on your head, and a big one. And while I might not pursue it myself, there's going to be a lot of people looking for you. I'll do what I can to stall it to give you a little bit of time, but, well, good luck, heroes. And the message cuts out. And with that, it is time for our session to wrap up. So it has been a blast. It's been a whole lot of fun for this session. Everyone is going to go up one minor epic token. So everyone is going to be at 3 for their minor epic tokens. These are things that they get. These are things that can be used. You know, the party should not be afraid to, use them. You don't need to hoard them like dragons. So one of those to each. And with that, for now, until we see you all on the 24th, it has been a blast. Thank you for watching, and you have a great night, day, or whatever time period is when you watched. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. We didn't do birthdays this time.
Oh, yes, happy
It's
birthday.
It's Derek's birthday.
We missed Derek's birthday.
Happy
And
birthday
then
to
Alicia's
Derek.
birthday.
And also a birthday coming up for that one. I totally was meant to do that. I apologize. Bye. Happy birthday.
It's okay.
Bye.